You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation. For Sports Power, your local footy experts. Welcome to AFL Nation.
Gary Rowan wins it after the siren with a dead eye shot. Where are you, buddy? There he is! He juggles the mark at the front. Ball to Springer, the magic man. He's done it again. Jake Springer, the everywhere man. He says the chance to get through. Bontempelli! Simply the Bont! Gives it to Gord. Willie from 55. He will. He can. He does. He gave it to Dusty. Martin. Goal. Tigers in front. At the final bell, it's a brand new flag. 57 years of torment eased. And a curse lifted. Melbourne are premiers in 2021.
AFL Nation.
And a very good afternoon and welcome to the MCG as round 7 continues here on AFL Nation. For Tyre Power, your match day favourites for tyre safety and McDonald's. Order via the MyMaccas app and start earning it today. It's Collingwood up against the Gold Coast Suns. A fixture on this very day last year where the Suns were able to cause an upset by 24 points. Can they pull a similar margin today against the Pies side that's going along okay at the moment? We'll introduce the team in a moment as part of the pre-game show for Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops and to the Camel's Call, Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops and Beaumont Tiles, who now have hybrid flooring in store. Before we go any further, let's get an odds update thanks to Sportsbet.
It's time for an odds update, thanks to Sportsbet. Sportsbet's bet with mates. Gamble responsibly. 1-800-858-858.
Gold Coast and Collingwood there at the MCG. Collingwood, the clear favourites, $1.49. Gold Coast, $2.57. But I think they're a sneaky chance to get an upset there at the MCG. $2.57, great value. If you don't think that they can win the head-to-head, have a look at the line. It's 12.5 points. So that 12.5 point head start could be all they needed. So I like the look of that. I'm going to chuck that into a same-game multi later on. Now, for a little bit of value, have a look at Josh Dacos for over 20 disposals. It's paying $1.46 and he's been getting plenty of the balls, had that last 4 matches. For a same game multi, I'm having a look at Jack Crisp for over 25 disposals. His run off halfback has been magnificent this season. And Levi Casbolt, I'm chucking in him for over 2 goals. He's had that 4 of his last 6 matches. And if Gold Coast are going to get the win, he's going to be scoring some goals. So that's paying $4.50 with Gold Coast as well at the line. Good luck, punters. Enjoy the footy. But gamble.
All thanks to Sportsbet. Gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-858-858. Matthew Cox with you this afternoon on the call alongside Matt Hill. Matt, great to have you on board.
Terrific, Matt. We're just dominating the match today, aren't we? The thing is, the Gold Coast, you were talking about how they won on this day last year for 24 points. I've had a bit of a scan through the record. This is their only match they're playing on the MCG. So that as we're bringing you in, Liam Pickering, might be a little bit of a lift for them.
Yeah, it is. And good afternoon to you, Matty, and to Coxie. The crowd's building up nicely here. I didn't think there'd be many here at all today, but I reckon they've probably got 25,000 here, which is not a bad little crowd. So, of course, it's all black and white, as you would expect. The Collingwood side, who'd be pretty happy with how they're travelling at the moment. The Gold Coast, good bit of statistical information you've just given us there, Matty. I knew they didn't come here much, but one game for the year.
Yeah, that
seems a little bit rich, doesn't it? You'd think they'd get here more than once. Anyway, they had a great performance here last year, and it was probably the end of Bucks, to be honest. It was the start of the end for Bucks when they upset Collingwood here in twilight footy on a Saturday afternoon last year. So it should be a good game this afternoon.
Do we make much of the fact that Collingwood has come off such a big match? The Anzac Day match, it's built up and they come out and win, and then they have a 6-day break to what is a match that's not built up. Do we make too much of that, the hangover, if you like?
Oh, I think I think it's real. Yeah, there are letdowns. Yeah, such a big build-up to a massive Anzac Day, 80,000 people there, and on a Monday, and then you come up against the Gold Coast Suns. Luckily for Collingwood, their fans have turned up because this is the sort of crowd you'd expect, 15,000 sort of person crowd, but unfortunately, or fortunately for Collingwood, they'll still get a lift from their support. But I think they'll still be up and about, ready enough to be ready to actually come out and play today, come out and work hard and win the game.
And on the flip side of your point, Matty, the fact that Gold Coast are coming off a big loss against the Brisbane Lions by 52 points, so they've got a sense of redemption, and it's a match today, Pickers, where you'd expect the Gold Coast Suns to be there or thereabouts, and if they're not, then it creates those questions again about where they are at.
Yeah, well, without Brodie Grundy, I think there is an opportunity for the Gold Coast to be in this for a long time today. I don't think they'll have quite the experience and class factor to beat Collingwood. I think their game style will stand up Collingwood, so I really enjoy watching them play at the moment. I think Craig McRae has got them playing with a lot of belief, the Pies. And I'm not sure, the belief seems to waver with the Suns. They seem to be, when they have it, they're good. And then other days they turn up and you think, oh, this is the same team we watched last week. So there was a bit of that last week against the Lions, I thought, as well.
Liam Pickering here for Buy My Stock. Got excess stock? Visit buymystock.com.au. We'll be taking calls all weekend, all thanks to Star 21, 2021 Telstra Enterprise Partner of the Year. Both teams currently completing their warm-up for Ream. Ask your plumber to install a Ream Steady, hot and strong. The Kubota cast for Kubota. Together we are shaping and building Australia. It's a typical autumn day at the MCG, hovering around 17 degrees and not a great deal of wind to speak of either, which is nice.
It's a cracking day for football. These are the days you like playing because there's not much wind at all. It's not cold. It's not hot. It's just an overcast day. It's a perfect day for footy. We've had a bit of rain, obviously, the other night, but the ground looks in terrific condition. So, yeah, I think this will be a really good game.
Well, particularly the game that Gold Coast played last week. There were portions of Metricon Stadium that were raining and others that weren't. It was very, very weird. So they'll be loving being out there today.
Well, they say beautiful one day, perfect the next. It hasn't been so perfect for the last few months, that's for sure, in Queensland or New South Wales for that matter. They've had some rain in those other states, but not here at the MCG, the mighty home of football. It's going to be a beautiful day for footy.
The Kubota car shaping and building Australia. Kubota, our game today is for Holmes Glen. Study with the Saints at Holmes Glen. Your unmissable moment today, Pickers, for Drink Wise. Choose to drink wise. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise.
I think I've already had it, watching Kane Corns with that blonde hair on the footy show this morning, but the guy he was mimicking, Jack Ginnivan, he's an exciting little player and got the long sleeves on today. He's really making a statement. Have a geeze at me. So I reckon it'll be his day again today. I just look forward to watching him play.
Signet are powering the commentary team for the upcoming game. Stay charged with Signet. The ground report, Pickers has already alluded to for Pope. The better way to water MCG, as you'd expect, in magnificent condition. Ground doesn't look too damp after that wet weather that we had earlier in the weekend, so we are all set for a perfect day. Conditions-wise, Pope's Drip Ease make drip irrigation a breeze. Who made the game easy from last night's game for Kennard Tire? They make your job easy. Talk to someone who has taken the Ken oath today.
Patrick Cripps, he's got. I think he'll win the Brownlow medal. I think he's having such a fantastic season. So he's kicking goals as well. He's doing everything at the moment, Cripper.
Big results last night too. Port Adelaide getting over the Saints.
It was a filthy game, though, wasn't it?
It was.
It's a real sort of a slogfest.
But for them, it's just starting to change the needle on the direction of their season.
It's a big win for them. It really was a big win. All of a sudden, they're 2-4. So, 2-5, I should say. So, nice. It was an important 1-point win, that's for sure.
That was the pre-game show for Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops. Answer the Camel's call, Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops, as we prepare to get this one underway. Your tips, please, gentlemen.
Collingwood by 15 points for me.
I think Collingwood will win, but it won't be by a great margin.
I'll go. What do you reckon? Go something different, just to keep it interesting. Yeah, I'll go the Suns by 2 goals.
Okay, so we all think it's going to be a pretty close game. It's no matter which way on the needle it goes. I do think that the Collingwood, they've got the experience. They play here in big games. They did it on Monday. They got over the line. In the game, I didn't think they played all that well, to be honest. And they've just got some serious footballers. So, going for the Pies. Not comfortably. I'm thinking they'll win, though.
What's the pass mark for the Suns, then?
About what Collingwood win by 2 goals. I think they've done well.
So is it effort that we're searching to see?
Well, their effort's usually there. I mean, they were poor last week, but I actually don't think their effort levels are an issue. It's just they find it really struggle to find a way to win. They just don't win games they should win. They've got enough talent. They've got every bit as much talent as Collingwood have on the ground, but have they got the game style? Have they got the temperament to be able to win these sort of games? So,
and the conversion inside 50, which has been an issue for them.
They have been a poor kicking team.
We're almost set to go. The opening bounce for Tyre Power. Tyre safety experts week in, week out. It's Collingwood against the Gold Coast Suns. A marvellous day at the MCG. Liam Pickering, Matthew Coxon to get us underway this afternoon here on AFL Nation. Here's Matt Hill.
So a good scene here at the magnificent MCG. Collingwood kicking to the city and the right of your radio dial, and the Gold Coast Suns to the punt road ends. As the field umpire in the middle just waiting for a couple of players to sort themselves out, and the countdown clock on the big screen.
Matty Rowell getting a little bit of attention from Taylor Adams in the middle of the ground.
Darcy Cameron for Collingwood and Jared Witts for the Gold Coast in the ruck to get us underway. A little roar from predominantly Collingwood supporters here at the G. Up we go, and Witts wins the first tap, and running onto the ball was Anderson, but it scooted past him. Then Pendlebury with the first possession for him, tried to get it back towards Cameron, working it through the middle, the Gold Coast. Here's Rankin with a handball out wide to Anderson, 52 metres out, not under a lot of pressure, got it to Miller. Kick wasn't the required distance, so Miller centres it up, and a juggling mark taken by Taylor Adams at half-back for the Pies.
That was sloppy by Rankin, though. You couldn't hit a target from 3 metres away.
Adams went to Josh Dacos, had the handball to Noble, got it back, still at half-back, broadcast side for the Pies. Tries to get around Roses, does just, but's turned it over. Mark taken by Lemons, attacking side of the broadcast wing. Finds Ainsworth at centre-half forward from just outside 50. Goes long, Chol in the goal square, put a hand out. Moore getting back for the Pies. Loops it further afield, trying to find Noble. He's caught by Rankin. Ball in dispute. Quaynor feeds it to Moore, to Josh Dacos. They're under all sorts of pressure. Maynard finds Lipinski, and they're out now through Adams through the middle.
And Adams can go for a jog through the middle, kicks it to centre half forward. Here's a chance to go. He flies, but it's chopped off by Ballard for the Gold Coast, and gets on with it quickly towards half-back and Collins. Collins down the line along the wing and taken by Lukosius. So Lukosius dead centre wing near side. Charles on his own here and takes an easy mark right on the chalk. He gets on with it quickly. He can see a man, and it's a mark by Casbolt.
Well, I don't like what I'm seeing early from Collingwood. They're off their men. They're off their men a long way too. He was loose in the forward line for a long, long time.
Not the man you need to just be hovering in isolation, Levi Casbolt, who can go back no angle really, about 35 metres out.
Still a fluker's hope though, isn't it? It's a 50-50 job. He's 30 metres out, but he's no certainty to kick this.
Kicking to the punt road, and there's just a little small gathering of Sun supporters behind this goal as Casbolt comes in for the first goal of the match, and he's got it. Levi Casbolt with the first. The Suns, their only match on the MCG in 2022. It's one goal. Collingwood yet to score. We've been going 2 minutes 20 from Akita Rule the Outdoors.
Yeah, great transition of play from half-back. Ballard was involved. Adams' kick went in deep. Gee, they rebounded. 3 beautiful kicks. And then Mario Chol square up to Levi was an absolute belter. Just kept it low and hit it hard, and no chance for the Collingwood defence to get back. And a nice finish by Levi. It's not his 3 would normally. Straight goal kicking, but no problems with that.
Boundary update for Snaffle bite-sized payments win. There was a late change coming into today's encounter. Callum Brown replaced Reef McGuinness in the selected side. McGuinness was named as the sub for the Pies. Jeremy Sharp named the sub for the Gold Coast Suns. So that was just prior to the bounce. Back in the middle, Cameron up against Witts. Lipinski at ground level. Anderson tried to knock it forward. Rowell applying the pressure. Ainsworth bobs up with it. Flicks the handball out to Anderson. Back inside attacking 50. And a nice one-handed scoop in by Roses. And he'll have a similar set shot from where Casbolt stood about a minute ago.
Yeah, the signs are a bit worrying early for Collingwood. I'm not sure I like the way they've started if I'm a Pies fan. And everyone knows their own team. And you can tell when they're not quite switched on. And a lot of loose checking and a lot of free Gold Coast players early in this match.
One of the inclusions back into the side this week. Roses comes in. 45-degree angle. Will kick from 40 metres out to the punt road end. It splits the middle, and the Suns have 2 on the board. 2 straight 12. Collingwood yet to score and yet to go inside, attacking at 50. That's all thanks to Robot Building Supplies. Robot's got it. 4 gone first term thanks to Makita. Rule the outdoors.
Another great transition of play. Ainsworth's been important early, and he got a beautiful handball across, and then it was a nice squaring kick and good run, but he had a leg rope of 30 metres there, Roses. Yeah, good start, Suns. Really good start. Don't tell me the Cooler's going to get one right. Archie declared him yesterday on radio. Jeez.
Well, now that you've backed over it, that could be the end for the Suns.
Well, it'll have nothing to do with me. He's the Cooler, not me. I'm going with Collingwood.
You're associated with the brand, though.
4:43 gone in the first term for Makita. For Robot Building Supplies, it's the Suns 2 goals straight to Collingwood yet to score. Back in the middle, Witts and also Cameron. Good straight bounce. Witts won the tap again that time, overrun by Rowell. Cameron was able to gather, got it to DeGoey. Handball side bottom. In fact, it was Pendlebury and then Rowell. After they coughed it up, they turned it over and Rowell just hacks it inside 50. Here come Casbolt again, charging out from the square. Little tap to Ainsworth was clever. Maynard under pressure, hands and knees, got it to Dacos. Handball Pendlebury, handball Adams, and they're going to run it out via Dacos. That's Josh, and another chain of handballs to Noble at the edge of the centre square, out to side bottom centre wing.
In the sun, in front of the Shane Warne stand, he loops it over the top to Lipinski. Ball inside, attacking 50, and Hoskin Elliott takes the mark.
Much better build up by the Pies.
Wants to stab it short immediately and finds DeGoey.
It was a much better build-up. There was a little bit of risk involved, but they got it out. Once they got it to the wing and they got it to the loose man, the minute the ball gets into Steele Sidebottom's hands, you know something positive will come of it. And in the end, it's ended up with Jordan DeGoey from 35 metres. He should have no problems here, DeGoey.
45-degree angle, kicking to the city end. Look at the flags on top of the scoreboard. They've just picked up ever so slightly in the last 5 minutes. DeGoey comes in. It's a nice-looking drop punch straight off the boot, over the top of the goal umpire's hat. And Collingwood with their first on the board this afternoon. They're 1 straight 6. Gold Coast leading 2 straight 12, all thanks to Robot Building Supplies. Robot's got it. 6.5 gone in this opening term. Thanks to Makita. Rule the outdoors. Our expert this afternoon here on AFL Nation is Liam Pickering, all thanks to buymystock.com.au.
Yeah, it's important that they did get that next goal because the first 2 came pretty easily for Gold Coast. But just take control of the footy a little bit here, the Pies. The Suns have been really clean. That was a nice finish by Jordan DeGoey. He's having a nice run of form at the moment, isn't he? Playing some good footy.
So that's what Collingwood needed, just a settler. 7 minutes gone first term. The Suns 2 straight goals. Collingwood 1 straight goal. It's been pretty clean so far. Umpire goes bang in the middle, and it's Cameron winning the tap that time, overrunning at Anderson. And on hands and knees, Miller just handballs it straight to Cameron, who just throws it on the boot. It bounces towards centre half forward. McCreary trying to run onto it for Collingwood, couldn't quite do so. Dacos with a loose handball to Hoskin Elliott. Now Crisp gets a bit of space, dodges 1, dodges 2, gets it to Ginnivan, looping handball over the top. Under pressure, McCreary up against the boundary line, snaps for goal. Is it a miraculous goal? It's not. It's across the face of goal. But a lot better from Collingwood, a better build-up. Suns 2 straight goals. Collingwood 1-1-7, 7:45 gone. As we have a look at the replay for easy debit, McCreary, it was a tough kick from that riding up against the point post and couldn't quite get it through.
It was his right to have a shot, and he fended off beautifully. There's nowhere else he could have really gone.
Suns just trying to navigate their way out of defensive 50. Weller to Davis at half-back, out of side. Goes towards the centre wing. It was risky. Asked Casbolt to do a fair bit. He wins the free kick as a result. So the Suns pressing forward once more. Witts now takes the mark, attacking side of the outer wing. Holds it up. It goes short to Anderson.
They've got their set up now properly, Collingwood. They've got their numbers back. They've got their press happening. Pretty hard to do that out of the centre bounce. That's how they got the first 2 goals, pretty much quickly from a bounce.
Which they haven't done on too many occasions this year, the Suns. They go to the top of the 50 now through the Anderson kick, off hands. Here's Nick Dacos, found more. A grubber kick to side bottom, still half back out of side. Floats it down the line. Hoskin Elliott tried to feed it back to side bottom under pressure from Miller. Got boots a ball. Bounces past McCreary, but he's going to win the foot race. May have been pulled off the ball. And was. So Collingwood to get the free kick about 60 from home.
So McCreary just on the edge of the centre square. He's going to get a 50-metre penalty. Popped it up into the air towards the top of the square, but it won't matter. The umpire's going to escort them down to the top of the square. So you could almost give this one to Beau McCreary, who has kicked just about as many goals in his career as games he's played. 17th game today. This would be his 15th if he was able to put it through. He's 20 metres out, virtually directly in front.
Should have no problems from here. He's at the top of the goal square.
Kicking to the city end. Just some shadows coming over the goal square at that end. Looking for Collingwood's second goal, and just to put them in front after 10 minutes. And make no mistake, McCreary kicks his first for the day. Collingwood 2-1-13. The Suns 2 straight goals. We've been going 10 minutes for Makita.
Yeah, nice little comeback from Collingwood. After conceding the first 2, their last sort of 5 or 6 minutes have been really strong. They've got their press happening. They've got their defensive players in the right areas now, making it harder for the Gold Coast to run it down. Where Gold Coast have looked dangerous is on transition, and now they've slowed them down. It's been a little bit more difficult, but Collingwood will certainly get their hands on the footy at the moment. Nice little period.
AFL Nation, thanks to Tyre Power. Save on Falcon. That store-wide super sale now on. Beautiful day at the MCG.
And Aiden Begg in the ruck here for a run.
Debutant today for the Pies. Second pick in the mid-season draft last year.
It's his chance. Good on him.
Hailing from the Eastern Rangers.
As a junior.
Up against Chol.
And Chol just got the advantage over the top. Lipinski gave it to Adams. Chol applies the tackle. Ball at ground level. Was fed out to Anderson. His kick smothered, so he has another crack at it. Gets it to Ainsworth. Feeds it to Miller just outside 50. Going inboard. Looking for Casbolt. Fell at his shins. Madgen was able to collect it. Fed it to Howe to side bottom. He loops the handball to Lipinski. Half back out of side. Grows to McCreary. He takes the mark. Centre wing. The crowd appeals for 50 again as there was a little tussle between the two. Ball to play on now. McCreary goes inside 50. Cameron. Nice contested mark. We'll nominate that for a hanger of the day thanks to hangmytv.com.au.
He was there for a long time, and they finally got it there. And by the time they got the ball to him, there was a contest coming. And he outmarked 2 strongly then. 2 opponents, I should say.
He was sandwiched. And he didn't look hesitant when he took it either.
No, he didn't. Well, this is a big chance for him, isn't it, really, to establish himself as a number 1 ruckman in a Collingwood side that's going to miss their main ruckman for the next 3 months, minimum, probably more.
And this is one aspect of his game that he is okay at. Darcy Cameron comes in, will kick from just inside 50 on a 45-degree angle. The crowd liked it off the boot. So did he. The Pies extend their lead. 3-1-19. The Gold Coast Suns 2 straight 12. All thanks to Robot Building Supplies. Robot's got it.
Nice finish. It's great to take the mark, but then to go back from 45 metres and bang it home. Icing on the cake. An entertaining start to this game. Suns had a chance at the other end from the centre bounce. They looked dangerous at the centre bounce, but Toot Miller tried the hit up pass and probably thought he could have ran on and ran to 45 to kick the goal himself, but tried to pass off to Big Levi. Didn't quite get it right, and then they took it down the other end. Pies. Good rebounding by them.
3-1-19 Collingwood. 2 straight goals the Suns. Noah Anderson, top of the pops with 5 disposals early. Chol and Begg. Chol tried to grab it out of the air. Anderson foraging forward. It's still in the centre circles at the moment. Begg over the top. Dacos got it out. Lipinski just threw it up in the air. Begg, can he take a one-hander? He did, but it wasn't long enough. Noble is able to gather, helps his teammate, and then sends it inside, attacking 50 and puts it straight onto the chest of that man, Cameron, again. And can virtually go back where he kicked the previous one from about 45 out.
That was a bit easy, wasn't it? He just worked his way to the front. Got a little bit of a block off the ball by his teammate, but to take a chest mark uncontested, oof. Bit of a worry.
That is dominant, Darcy Cameron. So literally kicking from the same position as he did moments ago. Slight angle, probably about 42 metres out to the city end. Darcy Cameron comes in with purpose. Sends it on its way. Goal umpire didn't even budge. Second goal for Darcy Cameron. Fourth for Collingwood. 4-1-25. The Suns 2 straight goals. We've been going just over 14 minutes for Makita. So Darcy Cameron with 2 goals. He's had the hanger of the day as well, thanks to hangmytv.com.au. Collingwood, this is a lot better.
Well, the 6-6-6 rule, for all the people that want to knock rules, this is the reason we're getting these sort of transition goals from the centre bounce, because there's not 8 players playing on him. He's got one-on-ones. And that's why anyone that is not happy with that rule has got rocks in their head, because you look out in the ground right now and you're seeing one-on-ones inside forward 50 for both teams. Not loose players in defence, because in a world gone by, like 4 or 5 years ago, they would already have a loose man in defence in Gold Coast. They would have already stuck one back.
And it's so neutral that the wings are in the traditional wing position as well.
All that. So now Collingwood will get their chance here, because the Gold Coast are going to get the clearance.
Yeah, free kick to Rao, gave it to Anderson, back inside attacking 50 for the Suns. Moore got a hand over the top of Casbolt to push it over the boundary line and out of play. We'll throw it in the forward pocket on the side of the ground for the Suns. Trailing by 13 points halfway through this opening term, thanks to Makita, Rule the Outdoors. Begg, just in front of Witts, came to ground level. Moore in a bit of trouble, trying to extract it. Tyler Brown, the umpire let it go for a long time, and just as it squirted out, he says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. 40 metres out for the Suns. Witts tapped it into the path of Rankin, closed down by Quaynor. Brown got a kick away. Dribbling balls collected by Cameron, feeds it to Begg, and he was ridden into the turf by Holman. Ball spilt free, and Fiorini able to apply the clams, will ball it up. Corner to the centre square, outer side favouring the Suns. 16 gone opening term. It's the Pies by 13 points.
So it's on the edge of the square. Witts just gets a little kick away. Noble, it was off hand, so not paid. Quaynor under pressure, tackled by 2, and then hurried handball by Nick Dacos out to Hoskin Elliott. Lipinski's caught.
What a
caught
chase.
red-handed. It was a terrific chase. McPherson gets the gather for the Gold Coast Suns and then pops it in the air, marked by Holman. Holman inboard. He was looking for Roses, chopped off by Howe though. And Collingwood can get to centre half back. It's in the hands of Maynard, who's going to spread it towards the near side wing. They're building something here. Brown, an inclusion, kicks it to a one-on-one, kicked it straight down the throat of Davies for the Gold Coast, and then he puts it to a disputed ball, and Moore takes the mark in the middle of the ground.
He had Brody Mychak all on his own at half forward. He just didn't see him.
Moore took a breath and goes to Lipinski on the centre wing. It was a costly mistake. Lucky to get the ball back, though, in the middle of the Pies as they search to go forward again. Nick Dacos creating space, will feed it to his brother just outside 50, up against the boundary line. Centering ball in the goal square. Mychak might have got a boot on it.
I reckon he thinks he did.
And if he did, it would be a miraculous goal. We're going for a score review, all thanks to Roofing and Sheet Metal Centre. All your sheet metal products, Australian made. Quality guaranteed. Oh, ho, ho.
Yeah, he's got a toe on that. That's a go.
The most flukiest of ways to kick one.
Well, not
Did
really.
he actually get a touch to it though?
Oh, I reckon he did, Matty. Yeah, I reckon he got the bottom of his foot. And that's enough for the umpire to say.
He's got a scrape on it.
Yeah, he got a scrape. There it is.
Pay to goal.
Wow.
It was a real soccer sort of job, wasn't it? Sliding in from the corner.
Desperation. Extended the leg out and just got to it as it crossed the line. And after a sluggish start in the first 5 minutes, the Pies have now kicked the last 5 goals. 5-1-31 to 2 straight 12, all thanks to Robot Building Supplies. Robot's got it. 18 gone in this opening term, thanks to Makita. Rule the Outdoors.
It was clever. I love the decision-making of young Dacos. Nick, he's a beauty. He gets it to his brother, but a lot of players would have gone back over the mark here on the half-forward flank. He just kept the ball rolling. He went forward to his brother, who got it to the goal square, caused a stoppage, and then Mychak with the cross and the toe on the ball for a goal.
31 plays 12. We've been going 18 and a half first term at the G. Brody Myercheck with 1, with McCreary with 1 to go. He 1 and Cameron 2 for the Pies. In the middle, they get another clearance. Lipinski, hurried kick to Dacos. Nick that was. Good long handball. Here go the Pies through Brown. Tries to get it back towards Dacos. Couldn't quite do it properly though. Rowell goes in, whistle on the play, and it's going to be a free kick to Collingwood. A little bit off the ball going on here.
Yeah, it was pretty sloppy by the Suns player. I reckon it was Ballard gave away a free kick, and it's going to be a free kick to
Callum Brown.
Brown, yeah.
So Callum Brown with the free kick. I wonder if he was he's actually thrown it out of the pack there, and then Rowell's just driven him into the ground. He's got the free kick for in the back.
It's a bit silly actually. It was against Ballard. Very silly free kick really.
So Callum Brown, he's had 2 disposals, a kick and a handball, and he shanks this to the left and doesn't even make the trip. And then through the hands of the big man Witts for the Suns, and it goes through for a rush behind. 5-2-32 the Pies, 2 straight goals. The Suns have been going 20 minutes for Makita.
AFL Nation thanks to Tyre Power. Save on Falcon Store-wide super sale now on, and for McDonald's, order via the MyMaccas app and start earning today.
Oh, another free kick. This is going to Ginnivan. Off the ball. Oh, it was as soft as butter. Soft as butter. But the umpires, there's just no need to do it, Sam Collins.
So the ball was
stuff, and he's got a little cheeky grin on his face, Ginnivan.
So the ball was at half-back, Pickers, but it was the umpire deep in the pocket.
Yeah, he basically just put a shepherd on to Ginnivan. But it was just unnecessary.
The Anzac Day medalist from last year curls it around his body for his first this afternoon. I reckon we can nominate that for an Amy Clanger. Who covers Clangers? Amy does, because for the Gold Coast Suns, they've just given away a goal there.
They did. They were bringing the ball out of full-back. Now, Ginnivan standing there minding his own business, really. He was just putting on a mock bit of pressure, and Sam Collins has come and just given him a big hit and shoulder, admittedly in the side, but just completely unnecessary. And so they've just gifted a goal to the Gold Coast.
You reckon that was to try and ruffle his feathers?
Well, I think
given that he's been the man of the moment for the last 7 days.
I've got a feeling there's a little bit of that from the opposition, yeah. They're going to say, this guy's a bit chirpy. If we get a chance, let's put a bit of physical pressure on him. But that's not the place to do it. Not when you're defending and you're giving away a goal for it.
Rockside here and the long sleeves this afternoon.
Who wore it better, him or Kane?
He had the headphones out before the match too. He's a dude. Back in the middle.
A dude.
Cameron and Witts. Tuke Miller tries to barge through. His handball was a loose one only as far as Lipinski for Collingwood, who just pops it up in the air very wide. No mark from Brown, but he could get an opportunity here as Casbolt dropped his lollies, and he's going to get a free kick. Was being held. So
well, he wasn't really, Matty. He was actually tackled with the ball, and then because he dropped it, he got a free kick.
Callum Brown just mucking around with it here at the moment as Josh Dacos swings around the body towards the forward 50. No mark taken there by the Suns by Ballard's. Ball in dispute. Witts did well. Got it to Farah, and then the boundary line beats him. He had a touch of the fumbles. It'll be thrown in. So it's 38 plays 12 Collingwood.
It's been a good comeback, Matty, hasn't it? You know, you think the Gold Coast got a hot start, hit the first 2, and the Pies have banged through 6 since then. And their pressure's really ramped up.
Running hot for Ream, steady hot and strong. The entire unit at the moment. Rao, though, trying to turn things around. Feeds it to Ainsworth. Pretty much on the centre wing.
It's a better option. They can roll here.
Broadcast side, Lukosius now has it. Attacking side of the broadcast wing. Goes inside 50. That was a brilliant kick. It was risky, but it paid off. Holman takes it just in the boundary line, about 40 metres out.
Get it back to him. He's anyway, going to kick it to the top of the goal square.
Rankin was in a battle with Howe, and Howe won out, as he usually does in those contests. Goes wide, bouncing ball, dribbling for the man of the moment. He couldn't take it this time. Lipinski shuffles it forward. Suns, though, cut it off through Ballard. Fiorini will flick it inboard, and now he finds Rowell. They're lining up through the middle. Witts takes the mark. gives the handball off immediately. Butterick inside 50. Casbolt top of the square. Moore, using his body well in the contest, took the mark, fed it to Howe, and they'll release some pressure with Adams taking the mark at half-back.
Yep, he's at left half-back, sends it towards the Shane Warne. Stands side to side bottom, who then just chips one up into the air. Oscar Elliott's got it now for Collingwood. Towards right half forward to Goey. Let out, took the mark, was dumped after he marked it. No 50 coming Pickers. Called to play on, 58 metres out. Sends it towards the top of the square. No mark at the back that time from Myercheck. Lipinski runs onto it next to the boundary line with Farah. It'll be thrown in left forward pocket for the Pies. We've been going 24 minutes for Makita.
And the grounds for Chemist Warehouse. Great savings every day. A little later this afternoon, the Bombers taking on the Dogs. And then probably the match of the round, Lions and Swans, to complete round 7. As the quick kick out of the contest from Brown puts it through for another for the Pies. 7 in a row. 7-2-44. They've built a buffer before quarter time. The Suns stuck on 2 straight 12. All thanks to Robot Building Supplies. Robot's got it. 24 and a half gone. First term for Makita. Rule the outdoors.
Well, I guess the minute I mentioned the cooler, it's all turned pear-shaped for the Suns.
Commentator's curse.
Yeah, well, not the commentator's curse. That's the Hutchie curse. Unfortunately, he's the cooler. And he thought the Suns were good things. And when they were 2 goals to zip up, he would have been doubling down. And all of a sudden, they've gone bang, 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 bang. And 7 goals later, and they are playing some seriously good football at the moment.
Hasn't had that much of it so far, Tyler Brown, but that's his 3rd goal in AFL. First today, 7-2-44 Collingwood, 2 goals the Suns. And since the Suns started so well, they've been dormant at that 2-goal mark.
Well, they've just been completely outworked.
So the bounce favours Witt's got a fist to it towards Miller. Miller under a lot of pressure from Brown. He was being held without the ball and gets the free kick. So Tuke Miller in the centre of the Coliseum of the MCG has Rowell on his own edge of the centre square. Kicks it long. Chol works his way to the front. Couldn't quite take the mark. Ball in dispute. Side bottom wrapped up by Fiorini. Was he holding it? No. The umpire crosses himself. And about 10 metres away from the punt road goal. The umpire will get on with it pretty quickly, Coxie.
He will. Matty Hill, Liam Pickering, part of the team as well here on AFL Nation. Wits. Chol got his head ripped off. And we'll get a set shot on a 45-degree angle about 30 metres out.
Oh, you love it. The player rips his teammate, rips the opponent's head off and then points at someone else like it was their fault.
Trying to shift the blame around.
Come on, Sidey. You ripped his head off, mate. You've got to wear that one, not point the finger at someone else. He was looking at Darcy Moore, I reckon he was looking at actually. Saying, why did I have to do this? Anyway.
Mario Chol. The response the Suns need after 7 goals have been kicked against them. After they got the first 2, Chol comes in. Goal umpire doesn't move. The response they required, they got. 3 straight 18. Placed 7-2-44 on the Robot Building Supplies. Robots got it scoreboard. As we approach 27 minutes in this opening term. Thanks to Makita, ruled the outdoors.
This is an entertaining game of footy. It really is. I mean, goals are coming thick and fast. There's a bit of controversy, a couple of free kicks have resulted in goals, a bit of off-the-ball stuff. Some really good skill level from both sides. And the Pies fans are here. And a small amount of Suns fans are here as well. But the Pies fans, geez, I reckon there's 30,000 here. Which I'm really surprised there's this many people. No, it might even be more.
It's nice that the Suns have got the drum, I think it is, down the
I was going to say there's about 60 of them, but they're making a lot of noise.
West Indian cricket sort of supporter base.
So it's 44 plays, 18 as Pickers mentioned. Plenty of goals in this first turn. That's what we like. Young Begg and Wits favours Wits. Was able to grab it out of the ruck and then mongrel punt towards centre half forward. The Pies players could have raffled it. Taking the number that time was Howe. And Howe goes wide. Madgen's running for him. Just found a little bit of space. And at left half back, it's Madgen for Collingwood. Goes short wider, finds Noble. So Noble, nifty on his feet, sends it down the line, finds Pendlebury. What a magnificent footballer he's been for so long, Pendlebury, and sends it down the line to side bottom.
Yeah, you've called those blokes' names a lot. Pendlebury and side bottom have been champions of the game.
Inboard to Pendlebury. They're just massaging it around half-back at the moment, Collingwood, with 28 and a half minutes gone on the Makita clock. So Pendlebury just wanting some options. He's going to send it down the line towards right half forwards. And a good mark from young Begg. He's able to find some isolation from his man and then gets on with it quickly. De Goey can't run onto it. Lemons ends up walking over the line with it. They've been going 29. It's 44 plays 18.
Speed by Lemons just to get in front of De Goey on that occasion. I thought he was in a bit of trouble.
Well, around 3.5 remaining in this term as well.
Well, it's going to be a longie.
I mean, plenty of action. Begg steals it out of the ruck. Fed it to Chris. Snaps and misses as the post wobbles after Myercheck collided with it. Ian Collins is still wobbling down at the City end. Pie 7-3-45. Gold Coast 3 straight 18. All thanks to Robot Building Supplies. Robot's got it.
It's Rankin leaving the square and sending it long towards half-back. Witts couldn't quite take the mark. Gold Coast through Miller. And then Davies hurried handball. Alice, Rankin, Rao. They're all trying to get involved. He was taken high. Rao got the free kick. Rankin's going to take it for him. Offloads quickly to Alice. And then Witts' kick wasn't long enough. And then he spilled it towards Rankin. Put his man under enormous pressure. Rankin got it to Rao. They're trying to get out of a pretty sticky situation here at the moment. Swallow. Oh, it was a hurried handball. And now through Myercheck to Lipinski for Collingwood. Can they build something from that era? Noble under pressure. 60 metres out. Finds a man at centre half forward. It's Adams. Goes back to Pendlebury at the edge of the square. So Pendles just sends it towards the square. Ginnivan, no. Myercheck waited at the back. Free kick. Gold Coast. A push as called by Pickers. Charlie Ballard will take it.
It was a very obvious push. It was a bit too obvious, really. Empire was never going to miss that. He was standing 5 minutes from the action.
Liam Pickering, our expert this afternoon for buymystock.com.au. Suns went into the pocket, found Lemons. He looked for Miller. It's going to be turned over. Side bottom. Collected the fumble. Fed it to Lipinski. Inside 50. Mark will be taken, though, by Farah. The intercept mark for the Suns. He flicks it wide and finds Fiorini. Half-back broadcast side. Over the top to Butterick. They have some nice movement. Chol now takes the mark. Attacking side of the broadcast wing. Casbolt's by himself, but he's probably too far away. They need one extra kick, and now they find it. Ainsworth has it between centre wing and half forward.
Get a short on here if he sees it.
Holman creating the lead. Ignore that. Decides to go further afield. Oh. Casbolt the fly! Brilliant mark from Levi Casbolt. He'll get the set shot from directly in front. 35 metres out.
That's a cracking mark. Absolute beauty from Big Levi.
That might take the cake for the hangmytv.com.au hanger of the day.
Certainly got the Darcy Cameron one from earlier covered. That was a beauty. I've never seen Big Levi get up that high.
Almost as high as the light towers. That's how high he got. Full stretch. Took the mark in a pack as well. Levi Casbolt comes in for his second this afternoon. Long way to the left.
That's Levi.
Minus score 3-1-19. Play 7-3-45 on the Robot Building Supplies. Robot's got its scoreboard. Ticking over 32 minutes in this opening term, all thanks to Makita.
Well, that sort of stuff might really cost them. Collingwood are fourth in set shot accuracy. That was pretty ordinary from Casbolt. Kick to a contest. It's
off the ball free again against the Gold Coast.
Yep, so it's right in front of the broadcast area, and Begg's going to take the free kick for Collingwood. Offloads to Howell. Howell sold a bit of candy. He was almost under pressure there, but he darts one low, and a good mark taken by Myercheck. Wants to get on with it quickly, so he does. Kicks it towards the pocket City end, but all over it was Ballard, and takes it on his chest at half-back for the Suns.
He just waits. Takes a bit of time off the clock. Just under a minute remaining in this opening term. Ballard, long ball, Casbolt, the fly again to ground level. Begg scooped it back, searching for Howe. Casbolt went in after it again, wobbles one to the wing where Pendlebury takes the mark.
36 seconds. Can they roll the sleeves up and get this into their forward line? Quick sticks.
Adams was set to go and then paused. Now we'll chip it short. Brown got knocked away from him. Rowell coming through with a head of steam. Got it to Anderson. The Gold Coast might do it. Davies, he's kicked those smothered. Josh Dacos fed it to Adams, to Noble, who fumbled. Rowell tries to apply the tackle. Noble strips him. Feeds the handball to Lipinski. Gets it to Josh Dacos up against the boundary line on the wing. Goes towards half forward. They run out of time to conclude the opening term. And what an entertaining one it was. 7-3-45 the Pies. The Suns 3-1-19. All thanks to Robot Building Supplies. Robots got it. We'll have a look at the Safety Steel Shed stat sheet during the quarter time break and come back with some figures on the other side of this. You're listening to AFL Nation. All thanks to Tyre Power. Save on Falcon. Store-wide super sale on now. McDonald's. Order via the My Macca's app and start earning today. And for Icon Services. Commercial cleaning and integrated property solutions.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Tyre Power. Save on Kumo. Store-wide super sale now on.
Let's cross to Daisy Pearce down on the boundary line.
Hi guys, things are about to get underway down here. As we know, there's a lot of pressure on every player at Harvest, with loads of contractors joining the team. They really need to get off to a positive start with good quality inductions and plenty of communication. They'll need regular breaks to minimise fatigue, and if they do those basics well, they should have a fantastic season.
Thanks, Daisy. Remember, always take 5, freshen up and get back in the zone. Visit makingourfarmsafer.org.au.
Hey, Nick Del Santo here. I played over 300 games in the AFL, but I still remember my first game as a rookie. Back then, I needed all the advice I could get. So, if you're after an apprenticeship and need the same kind of expert help, don't go past MEGT. MEGT is Australia's largest and only national apprenticeship network provider, making them your true local apprenticeship experts. With MEGT, a winning career could be yours. So check out their free job board today. Visit MEGT.com.au or call 13MEGT.
Hard Yakka. Toughness is our DNA. No shortcuts. Born in 1930, Hard Yakka's legendary status is in its heritage. Work hard, play hard. And we don't play by the rules. We write them. That's why we've designed the ultimate men's and women's gear and boots for your no-nonsense lifestyle. Designed to work hard on the job or on your weekend adventures. So do your mate or family member a favour. Get them the gear that'll make them feel like a legend. They'll thank you for it. Head to hardyakka.com.au or visit your nearest stockist today.
Safety Steel, time to get real.
Tim Watson here. Can you remember as a kid painting goals on the side of your dad's shed and shooting for goals day after day? Well, they built them tough back then, just like the sheds from Safety Steel. For prefab steel kit buildings and custom designed sheds that are tough and durable, search Safety Steel. For your dream shed, search Safety Steel.
Safety Steel, time to get real.
OK, team, we've got the home ground advantage today, so you know what that means? Start them up.
Toro is legendary on the world's best grounds, and now you can take charge of your home ground with Toro's 60-volt personal pace mower, part of the FlexForce family that shares one powerful battery. It starts the first time every time and is built to last, with up to 40 minutes on one charge. For your home ground advantage, you can count on Toro. Available online at bunnings.com.au. Just search Toro 60V.
Get the power of safer tyres before you go on holidays. A road safety message from Tyre Power.
Correct tyre inflation is the single most important part of tyre care. It helps keep them in good condition to provide optimum performance and maximum life. The best thing you can do before a long journey is check your tyre pressure and top them up with air if needed. And don't forget to check the spare tyre too.
Get the power of expert advice. Get the power of Australia's biggest independent. Visit tyrepower.com.au for your local owner operator.
Hello, welcome to Athena Home Loans.
Hi, I'm looking to refinance and I have a few questions.
Go for it.
So, how much are your application fees?
We don't have any.
What about ongoing or monthly fees?
We don't have any.
Exit fees?
No exit fees either.
Oh. So how do you stop people from leaving?
Well, we want them to leave us because they've paid down their loan.
Wow, you're not like other lenders.
No, we're not a bunch of bankers.
No fees plus new extra low rates. See how much you can save at athena.com.au. Athena, love us and leave us. Standard credit criteria, terms, conditions and government charges apply.
The Chicken Deluxe Burger at Macca's. Tender Aussie chicken in a crunchy coating with melted cheese, tomato and aioli. It's all the best bits in one delicious place. Chicken and Macca's together and loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Available after 10:30 a.m. for a limited time only.
If you're a local multi-trade contracting company, Handy wants you. Handy works with insurance companies with fair rates and fast payment. If you're licensed and insured, it's quick to sign up. Go to handy.com. That's HANDDI.com.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Sports Power, your local footy experts.
Kick from 40 metres out to the punt road end. It splits the middle and the Suns have 2 on the board. Nick Dacos creating space, will feed it to his brother just outside 50, up against the boundary line. Centering ball in the goal square. Myercheck might have got a boot on it.
I reckon he thinks he did.
And if he did, it would be a miraculous goal.
There it is.
Paid a goal as the quick kick out of the contest from Brown puts it through for another for the Pies. 7 in a row.
Maccas, I'm loving it moments. Order via the My Maccas app and start earning today.
They went on a roll in the middle part of that opening term. Collingwood 7-3-45. They lead the Suns 3-1-19. Welcome back to AFL Nation. The opening bounce for the second term just moments away for Tyre Power, your match day favourites for tyre safety. Matthew Cox, Liam Pickering and Matty Hill joining us this afternoon here at the MCG.
Thanks, Coxie. So Collingwood kicking to the punt road end, Gold Coast to the city end. It'll be Cameron and Witts back in the middle. And Cameron taps it down towards Adams and Rao scrapping for it. Cameron just on hands and knees, really foraging for it. 4 or 5 players. DeGoey picks it up. He's taken in a good tackle. Attempted handball to Crisp. And then Pendlebury over the top of Anderson. And that ball isn't really going anywhere. There'll be another bounce in the middle. Umpire gets on with it quickly. Cameron and Witts. Cameron won the tap to overrunning it. Dacos. Rao threw it away from the Suns. Got it to Weller, but the umpire, he's actually going to pay advantage. I thought he was going to give it for a throw initially, and now Ainsworth has got it at right half forward for the Suns. So Ainsworth kicking to the city end. Long inside, attacking 50. Casbolt read it beautifully. Just weaved through the pack, got to the front and took it with the big mitts.
You don't have to think about a move here. It's Jeremy Howe that's playing on him, because Darcy Moore's playing on Marvio Chol, and he has taken his 3rd strong mark inside 50.
So he'll be kicking from about 35 directly in front, Pickers. What do you reckon?
Well, he's 50-50. He should be better than that, but that's what he is.
So Levi Casbolt
backing him in, Matty.
Comes in right of your radio dial, and this time flirts with the post. He snuck it in. He's got it in. So it's Levi Casbolt with his 2nd for the afternoon, and the Suns progress to 4-1-25, 20 behind Collingwood, 7-3-45. We've been going a minute 40 for Makita to score in the second term thanks to Athena home loans.
Well, at least he's putting his big frame in front, and not that you really want Jeremy Howe getting able to get a ride on you, but he's put himself in front, and he's now kicked 2, and he's doing exactly what they got him up there to do. Create a big forward presence, and he's done that in this game. 5 disposals, 3 marks and a couple of goals. A nice start.
Second term has started the exact same way as the first one did with a Casbolt goal.
Well, it's the centre bounce is so important. It's critical now.
Witts and Cameron in the middle. Perfect bounce. Witts straight into the path of Crisp. The seas parted for him. Straight up the corridor. Inside 50. Good mark. Backing back. Lemons been doing some nice things inside defensive 50 in the match so far.
Risky kick though.
As McPherson got punched away from him by Maynard. Pendlebury mops it up, flicks it just a little too hot for Adams. He was able to gather. Ainsworth, though, standing in the way of the handball. Popped it over the top, searching for Witts. Cameron got there first. Fed it by hand to Noble. Loops one, searching for Nick Dacos. Had to wait for it. Was under all sorts of pressure. Umpire circles and says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. 3 gone, second term. Margin 20 points in favour of the Pies.
Witts won it down to Miller. Miller needs some support. Ainsworth is there, wrapped up by Noble. That ball isn't going anywhere. Umpire crosses himself and will throw it up in the middle. Just on the edge of the square towards the outer wing. Up it goes. Cameron and Witts wrestle. Comes to Nick Dacos. It'll offload to Crisp, who lost it. Fiorini wrapped up by Noble. It's tough in the clinches at the moment, and the umpire will ball it up again. So we've been going 3.5 minutes second term. Witts won the tap to Miller. Miller out wide. Fiorini sends it inside, attacking 50. Quaynor with the punch. It goes backwards. It's dangerous. Roses can run onto it. Somebody can run onto it. McPherson went without it. Pendlebury mops it up for Collingwood and sends it out wide to side bottom. And side bottom can steady the ship at right half back for the Pies.
Touches the Sharon on the ground, then fed it by hand to Noble, back to side bottom. Now he's got a bit to deal with, retreating defensively, fed it back to Noble, up against the boundary line, out of side, just a hoping kick in the end. Coming late, Hoskin Elliott brought it to ground. And Quaynor up and under kick, just searching for some territory. He got it momentarily because McPherson was sitting underneath it. He takes the mark. Half back out of side. And he'll go short to Swallow. He's able to chip it around. Finds Anderson. Defensive side of centre for the Suns. Trailing by 20 points. Early stages, second term. Comes wide with the kick to Lukosius. Back into the lineup this week. Half-back broadcast side, he spots up Witts. That was a great kick. Howard may have given him a little shove. A small Suns crowd, they're vocal, appealed, didn't get anything for it. Witts fed it off to Swallow, his kick smothered. Collins came through with speed. Lukosius knocked it behind him to Miller, outside 50. Levi. Searching for Casbolt again. He takes the mark on a 45-degree angle, 15 out.
There was a nice little hit-up pass by Duke Miller. Collingwood overdid it a little bit back here further. And now Levi for his third. Again, I'm saying only 50-50 from here. 45-degree angle, 25 metres out. Nice strong mark, though.
You feel as if he gets this gives the Suns a hell of a lot of momentum, and they'll get it now. Third goal for Levi Casbolt. 5-1-31 the Suns. They've responded after having 7 goals kicked against them in the opening term. The Pies, they haven't moved the needle in this second term. They're 7-3-45, all thanks to Athena Home Loans. Pay down your home loan faster with Athena Home Loans.
A nice build-up from the half-back line, really, from the Suns. A little bit of mucking around in the middle of the ground, but in the end it was a nice knock-on from Lukosius to Tuke Miller, who just chipped it up into space. Allowed big Levi to take it nearly uncontested. Darcy Moore was coming through for a spoil, but didn't get anything on the ball. And a good strong mark.
So 3 for Levi. Casbolt running hot for Ream, over 80 years manufacturing in Australia. It's Collingwood 45, the Suns 31. We've been going 6.5 for Makita Rule, the outdoors second term at the MCG. Cameron back in the ruck up against Witts, who gets the ball out of the ruck and then kicks it to Roses on the edge of the centre square. Centre half forward for the Suns. Towards the square he goes. Chol, meat in the sandwich, falls out towards Lukosius. Pendlebury having to do something over the top. Moore's in there as well, foraging. Ball not going anywhere, and it'll be a ball up 30 metres around from the Suns' goal.
Another centre clearance, though. The Suns, it's a bit of an issue for Collingwood, this.
Again, similar to how the first term started. Rowell fed it to Ainsworth. Roses, they've retreated a long way to Weller. Ginnivan to ground level. Ballard just pokes it off the carpet inside 50 momentarily. Brown coming the other way. Got it to Nick Dacos. He's mown down. Umpire says holding the footy. Advantage taken by the Suns. And Lukosius just inside 50 on the broadcast flank.
It's welcome to senior footy, Nick. You can get away with that at Oakley Chargers, but you're not getting away with that at AFL level. Should have given the handball.
Lacked a little bit of awareness on that occasion.
Well, he's got great awareness, but just the pace of the way they close, and the Suns have really got their pressure up in the start of this second quarter.
So Lukosius is confident. Will kick from about 52 metres out. Sends the Sharon on its way, but it fades to the right-hand side and a minus score. 5-2-32, plays 7-3-45 on the Athena Home Loans scoreboard. 8 gone second term on the Makita Rule, the outdoors clock.
He is a thumping kick, though, isn't he? He did that off about 3 steps, kicked it 60 metres.
Pendlebury directing traffic outside the goal square, goes for a little jog and then kicks it to Quaynor at left half back for the Pies, in front of the MCC members. Noble presenting an option, short, doesn't go there, he's going to go long down the line. So kicks it to virtually a 3-on-3. Cameron at the back, waits, goes the fists, and there's A free kick. It's going to go to Collingwood. Advantage paid back in the middle. Nick Dacos sells a bit of candy and then sends it towards left half forward where Cameron takes the mark, and running for him is Dacos and Josh. That is over to Lipinski, and then it was a mongrel punt inboard. Still might work. Callum Brown handball. Myercheck handball to Goey. Throws it on the boot. Up in the air it goes. Ginnivan's waiting. So to side bottom. Someone's got to get a boot to it. They don't. It heads towards the pocket. Alice is going to do the crumbing for the Suns. Goes bang and sends it outside on the full. So Collingwood can reload. It'll be Noble about 75 metres out from goal, Coxie.
The Collingwood pressure returning. It's taken them about 5 minutes in both quarters. Noble goes short to Crisp.
The crowd are getting a little bit frustrated with the over handballing here from the Pies.
Crisp goes to Moore in the middle of the MCG. He almost turned it over. Casbolt standing in the way. McPherson. There's a whistle on play. Casbolt to get a free kick.
Just their skill levels dropping off a bit here. Enter Levi to turn it over.
On cue.
Straight to Crisp. But no, the Collingwood skill level hasn't been great this quarter.
Just looking a little hesitant, not backing themselves.
This is a better play, though.
Lipinski feeds it to Madgen from just outside 50. Goes for home. Gets there. Jack Madgen gets the goal. And Collingwood, after the Suns kick the first two of this second term, get the response. 8-3-51 plays 5-2-32 on the Athena home loan scoreboard.
A much better build-up. Was a good releasing handball to Madgen, who didn't have to break stride, and it hit it beautifully from 55 and all the way home. Great goal. Crowd loved it too. That's only his second goal in his career. It's been going 70 games nearly. Is he up to, 47th game. He's got 2 home.
He was very happy with it as well.
Oh, the crowd, look at him giving him a big round of applause as he goes back down to the offensive goals.
The new full forward of the Collingwood Footy Club.
Could be a candidate for goal of the game for Host Plus. That's a plus. It's 51 plays 32. Collingwood lead the Suns.
There's that funky music.
So Chol and Begg in the ruck. Chol wins it down. Davies trying to burst his way through, and he's dispossessed. Adams got a loose handball away towards De Goey, who fumbles it. Pendlebury just tried to paddle it to the advantage of Crisp, who was knocked out of the ruck pretty heavily. Begg went in. Now Tuke Miller with a hurried handball. They go through Anderson. Inside attacking 50 for the Suns. At the back is Casbolt. He's going to put Madgen under a little bit of pressure. Coming in hard over the top more. It's deep in the pocket. Is it still in play? It is. It's in the hands of Maynard. The umpire's found a throw, and it's going to be a free kick to the Suns.
Yeah, I reckon he's right, Matty. He had one arm pinned, so the only way he could have got rid of it was to throw it.
So Nick Holman's going to take the free kick deep in the pocket. He works the angle round the body. He's done it beautifully. Nick Holman with a terrific goal from the pocket. Steadies the ship there for the Suns. 8-3-51 Collingwood, 6-2-38 the Suns. A 13-point ball game, 12 minutes gone for Makita Rule the Outdoors in the second quarter for Tyre Power. Good finish.
Good finish, really good finish. He was tucked up against the boundary line, ran around on his left, which he is, and no problems. Opened the angle up and got it home. If you have a look at the replay here, when you're being held by one arm, that's a great decision by the umpire. The Ferals didn't like it, but you know what? It was there, guys.
There's some security, Benny Lyons, if we can.
Can we lock that door?
It's a bit of fun, guys. It's a bit of fun. That's what we always say.
I don't know how many people down in the Ponsford stand are going to be happy with that comment. Particularly when your face goes on the scoreboard at half-time. Chol in the middle. Down to Miller. He finds a way through traffic. Will send it forward again for the Suns. Casbolt arriving on the scene. This time couldn't take it. Howe mopping up for the Pies. Loops it over the top, searching for Noble. Has time to gather. Short ball is good to Cripps. Still inside defensive 50 out of side. He'll go short now to Adams. Still at half-back on the 50 arc. 13 gone. Second term on the Makita clock. He goes to Lipinski, who's leading all comers on the safety steel shed stat sheet. 16 disposals, make it 17 now. Maynard to Crisp. Dodgy ball inside 50. Myercheck claims it, but then got caught immediately by Lemons. Ball spells free.
Free kick.
And it's going to come back the way of the Suns, just as Ginnivan is lining up for the snap.
That's a great bit of play by Lemons.
Done some nice things in this first half of footy. Butterick now takes the mark, half-back broadcast side.
He goes short.
There's some really brave kicks going on here, boys.
Anderson just inside the 50-metre arc at the moment. Then a long handball. Finds Swallow, who's going to spread it very wide. In fact, it's out of bounds on the full, surely. He was looking for Fiorini, who's taken the mark outside the field of play. Out of bounds on the full, so the free kick to Crisp, so Collingwood can reload. They lead by 13 here. Middle stages, second term. Crisp with a terrible kick, but it's going to find a man anyway. And it's Josh Dacos who's taken the mark. Left half forward for the Pies. What can they build here? Watching Ginnivan.
A short lead on from Cameron. They're going to go over his head.
Dacos to a contest. Ginnivan's there. They fly. Myercheck's taken a ripper.
That's a great mark.
Myercheck, in the middle of 5 or 6 players, has raked it in. Clunked a beauty.
Yeah, there were 3 trying to spoil, 2 trying to mark it from the Gold Coast, and 1 trying to spoil, and he was in the middle of the group and brought it to ground. Good mark, Brody Myercheck.
Thanks to hangmytv.com.au, one of the hangers of the day. We've seen a couple of beauties. Myercheck from 30 metres out to the punt road end and sends it through. That's his second. A little bit more conventional than his first one at the other end. It's Collingwood 9-3-57. The Suns 6-2-38, 15 gone. Athena Home Loans at the MCG.
That's what you call a contested mark, that one. First one they really got. Oh, I guess Cameron took one in the first quarter, but Levi Casbolt at the other end's taken a couple of beauties, but he's a lovely finisher, Brody Myercheck. He's a good kick. He's been a very, very good player for them. They've got him out of Port Melbourne playing defence. Got him in as a defender. He's kicked 137 goals, 138 goals now. And been a very, very worthy addition to that forward line. He's a welcome addition, really.
Well, the Pies goal kicking the last 3 years, kicked 4 goals last week on Anzac Day, and looking at that Easy Debit replay for Simple Payment Solutions, joined Easy Debit today, and that was a great contested mark from Myercheck as the Pies look to generate again from the middle. Adams thwarted in his attempt. Rao now trying to break clear. He's caught by Tyler Brown. Ball going nowhere. Will reset. 9-3-57, play 6-2-38 on the Athena Home Loans scoreboard. AFL Nation for tyre power. Save on Toyo. Massive Easter sale now on. Side bottom. Just the distance for him to claim the mark. Goes over the head of Lipinski. Wants him to run onto it. Did. Better by hand to Myercheck, who snaps from 45.
Oh, he's got it downfield.
So he'll get the free kick.
Will it be downfield, or will he have to go back to it from where he is, Myercheck? I think he's coming back here.
Well, I think the umpire gave him the option of letting it go through for a point or taking the kick.
Who's going to take the option of a point?
Well, it could be a handy point. You never know.
That's exactly what he just did, though. He actually said, well, you can have the score, but in the other hand...
An AFL version of deal or no deal.
Correct. take the box or open the box up and have another go at it. So he's going to have another go at it here.
Lining up for his third. Crosses the 50 arc to the city end on a 45-degree ankle. The traditional drop punt slots it. 3 goals for Brody Myercheck, backing up his 4 goals last week. And the Pies again just building that buffer, similar to what they did in the first term. 10-3-63, plays 6-2-38 on the Athena Home Loans scoreboard. It's AFL Nation for McDonald's. Order via the MyMaccas app and start earning today.
Didn't do a lot wrong, the Gold Coast defender, really. Ballard, I think it was. And he was already in the air to try and smother. And then, of course, the body's going to clash. So, a real feel for the game. I reckon you probably let that go through and say it's a point. But, to the letter of the law, he did hit him afterwards, and he's gone back and at least made him pay. But I reckon they're probably lucky on that one, the Pies.
So the game just blows out a little here. It's 63-38. The Pies lead.
It's back to what it was at quarter time, Matty. So 25 points.
Witts grabs it out of the air, and then Adams under pressure. Got a handball to Dacos, and then Noble did well. Did really well. Got around Ellis and then kicks it long. at the front. No mark taken by Maynard. Then McCreary for Collingwood. Lipinski sold some candy. Kick was smothered off the boot. Falls to Ginnivan against the pocket. Kept it in, left it hanging. Dodges one, dodges two. Put it on your boot and put it through for the most spectacular goal from Ginnivan. And hasn't that brought the MCG to life? For Athena home loans, 11-3, 69, 6-2, 38. The Suns, there's something spectacular about him. That's his second.
Absolutely brilliant call, Matty. That was a brilliant goal. He took on the first guy. He's hemmed it on the boundary. Took on the second one. Shrugged the tackle. Got around the third. With pressure coming from the left side of his body. Banged it on his left foot in the goal square for a goal.
And the crowd have just seen the Easy Debit replay. Join Easy Debit today on the scoreboard.
He ran a fair way.
The noise that went up around the Coliseum then for the crowd that it is was extraordinary.
Well, that's the thing that this young bloke will do. Because he's different. He'll get new fans, he'll get young fans will love him because he's got a bit of flair about him and he kicks goals. And that was as good a goal as you've seen. Well, I've seen for a long time, actually.
Anyone in the Collingwood merchandise shop, get those long sleeve jumpers ready this week with the 33 on the back.
The blonde winks.
He's wearing the long sleeve today too, to stand out even more.
We get a secondary ball up in the middle. Pies 11-3, 69, plays 6-2, 38. Witts down to ground level. Anderson's kick ricochets. Rowell going nowhere. The umpire says, give it to me, we'll restart again. Around the grounds for Chemist Warehouse. Great savings every day. Bombers and Dogs kicking off at 3:20 this afternoon as Noble takes the intercept mark at half back. Splits the middle. Comes to the broadcast side with the kick. Myercheck takes it on the half volley. Will poke it inside 50 to Gully on the lead. Takes the mark. And will line up on a 45-degree angle 40 metres out.
That was a bit easy. Two defenders laid off him. And he just doubled back inside to Brody Myercheck and got it to Jordan DeGoey, who hasn't had a massive impact. He's been okay. Should have backing him in from here too. They've got their tails up here, the Pies.
Sixth disposal. Fades to the left. Minor score. 11-4, 70 plays 6-2, 38 on the Athena Home Loans scoreboard. We're into time on second term on the Nikita Ruley Outdoors
It's
clock.
an exciting brand of football they're playing, Collingwood. Yeah, their fans are showing that. The fact that how many have turned up today to a game against the Suns, who we know have got about 80 supporters here. They're enjoying what they're seeing, and I don't blame them. So am I.
Lemons under pressure in the goal square. Handball to Miller, who had no option. Sends it to a contest. Chol flies, no mark. Wits at the fall of the ball. Handball, Chol dodging, weaving, under pressure. Handball, Fiorini. Scrubs a kick down the line. And it was good offload from McPherson to Rankin, who then just dropped his lollies under pressure from Morse. Ball in dispute near the boundary line. Howe over the top. Umpire will ball it in near side centre wing.
That's about the fourth fumble today from Rankin.
Yeah,
and it started from the word go.
Well, this is the problem though, Matty, is he's continually being picked and selected on talent. He's just got to start performing though.
Boundary throw in, bounced awkwardly for Fiorini as it slapped in his direction. Crisp sees it back over the boundary line and out of play. A boundary update for Snaffle. By now with bite-sized payments, huge win. The subs this afternoon. Reef McGuinness, who was initially named in the side, a late change. He's the sub today. Jeremy Sharp, the sub for the Suns. Callum Brown came into the side in the swap with McGuinness as there's a holding free kick going the way of the Pies. Cameron infringed in the ruck against Witts. 22 gone, second term. Cameron over the top to side bottom. Against the boundary line in front of the interchange gates. Still waits for the right option.
He hasn't had a kick yet. I'm talking about Rankin, Matty. He's had 4 handballs today and a few fumbles. So he needs to get himself busy in the second half to have an influence in the game.
Just lacks that urgency and composure.
11-4, 70 Collingwood, 6-2, 38 the Suns. Left half forward for the Pies. Cameron and Witts down to Rowell, who tries to scrap it away from Crisp on hands and knees. He's foraging away, hatching over the top of it was Howe, and it's taken by Cameron at ground level. He's going to ping him. He's going to ping him for hatching over the top of it.
The minute everyone around the pack starts looking at the umpire and he still hasn't made a call, you know he's making a decision to hold the ball.
So Cameron went short to Adams, wasn't far enough, 53 metres out, inside
easy,
50,
Matty.
and Crisp was on his own.
It's a bit easy this. The Suns players, a lot of standing around, a lot of statues, a lot of their pointing at everyone else. He was standing there having a picnic, really. Jack Crisp. Taylor Adams saw him. I'm not sure how the other 8 Gold Coast defenders that are standing in the vicinity didn't see him.
So Crisp will be virtually in front, but kicking from right on the arc, possibly just inside. Jack Crisp, he's had 10 disposals, 7 kicks, 3 handballs to date from 48 metres out with that left boot. It's long and it's strong and it just misses to the left. Collingwood 11-5-71, Gold Coast 6-2-38. Less than 5 minutes left in the second term for Athena Home Loans. The second term here on AFL Nation, brought to you by Tyre Power. Save on Toyo. Massive Easter sale now on.
He's still yet to miss a game since he's arrived at Collingwood. Has not missed a game. Been there about 8 years.
169 consecutive matches.
Yes.
That is an effort, isn't it?
That's the longest streak at the moment in the AFL for consecutive matches, as Moore takes the intercept mark on the centre wing. 163 from 163 while he's been at the Pies.
And hasn't he given them great service? He'd have, in 8 years, he'd be in the top 5 in their best defence in the league every year. Look at that kick from Moore.
Here's, I've got the stat for you on that in a moment, Pickers. Lipinski inside 50 again for the Pies. Just misjudged the kick. Lemons takes the intercept for the Suns. Worked it wide for Ellis. Takes it on the half volley. Had company through side bottom. Fed it to Collins. To Lemons. To Swallow. Still at half back. Now releases the kick. High ball in the McPherson direction. Punched away from him. Farah was on the scene. Flicks it back to McPherson. Goes towards Rankin. He steadies, composes, and it's an okay kick. His first one of the match to Miller.
Loose players inside 50 here. Holman's on his own.
And it's a congested one at that. He elects in the end to go to Casbolt, who this time takes an uncontested mark.
In the same spot. He's had 2 shots from his spot, Levi. He's kicked them both.
Well, his confidence should be high.
He's just crept around about 8 degrees. The umpire was setting the mark. Well, he's directly in front the way he's going. I think they'll be disappointed, Collingwood, with that. Giving up that late mark. Look, there's inside 3.5 minutes to go. He slacked the fence there.
Kicked the first 2 goals of this quarter. Casbolt comes in and will slot it for his 4th. Been a good game so far. Number 4 for Levi Casbolt. He's at 6 marks from his 8 disposals as well. He's running hot for Ream, over 80 years manufacturing in Australia, and he's keeping the Suns in the contest with his accurate kicking.
He is. He's kicked beautifully. He's only had the 1 miss. But that was a bit easy. I thought we were looking to see what happened up the ground. I don't know whether it was arresting Ruckman that was on him or Quainer. He looked like it was Quainer's opponent, but Quainer was too small to be standing next to him. So there was miscommunication. I think Madgen might be the matchup. Moore's gone to he's with Chol, and they were in the goal square. So yeah, it looks like it's Madgen's matchup.
So 3 minutes to go until the main break. It's the Magpies by 27.
Oh, good game.
It's been enjoyable, hasn't it? This first match on a Sunday, as the umpire almost could have called that back. Favoured Begg heavily, and then Crisp soccers it off the ground in the air. And the mark taken by Swallow at true centre half back for the Suns. He looks to spread wider. Quaynor's there. Rankin went for the fly. Moore over the top. Didn't give a free kick away. Almost did. Ainsworth runs onto it. Handball towards McPherson. Pendlebury taken without it. Howe runs onto it with Chol. Scrap for the footy near the Gold Coast goal, and the umpire finds a free kick holding to the Suns.
The ball had disappeared. Oh, it was a softie. It's a real softie.
It's going to Chol. Chol, who's kicked 1 today, 1 of the 7, and he was dispossessed and then thrown to the ground by Jack Madgen.
Yeah, the ball fell out, but it was really because of the tackle it fell out. Did he hold on too long? Maybe. Not in my view. I would have called that play on, but big Chol now.
So slight angle, about 30 metres out. Chol, and the Magpies
not happy.
Supporters are going to ride every wave with him here, and he's got it. He's kicked it. Second goal for Chol, 8 for the Suns. It's 11-5-71 Collingwood, 8-2-50. The Suns a 21-point game, less than 2 minutes to go. This second term brought to you by Tyre Power here on AFL Nation.
So a couple of late goals will be very, very... They'll be very happy with that. The Suns sort of just kept them within that sort of 20-point margin. So they've made up a little ground. It was 26 at quarter time. 21 now going into half time with just less than 2 minutes to go.
So less than 2 minutes to go. 5 disposals for Chol and 2 goals. As far as disposals are concerned, Lipinski with 20 and Noble with 15 for the Pies at the top of the pops at the moment. So Witts wins the tap down to Rowell and then Miller. This is more promising from the Suns towards the top of the square. Casbolt couldn't take the mark. Now Madgen's tapped it towards the line. They want deliberate. Umpire thought about it, but it'll be thrown in around 25 metres around from the Suns' goal. It's Collingwood by 21 with a minute and a half to go in this first half at the MCG. So thrown in, Witts and also Begg. Begg won the tap that time for Collingwood. Rowell, ground level. Crisp with a little soccer kick. The advantage only of Swallow as they turn it over. Suns, Ainsworth drops that ball under enormous pressure. And then Anderson tried to get it off ground level. Swallow over the top. It's a chaos ball here at the moment. Miller, little handball to no one in particular. Could go anywhere. Deflects to Rowell, who puts it onto the left boot. Chol, no mark. Loose ball. Dacos and Madgen run onto it. And Collingwood are going to get out of trouble here as the Dacos brothers combine and kick it towards half back in the mark. Taken by Cameron. So a minute left in this first half. Collingwood by 21. Darcy Cameron at half-back, left half-back for Collingwood. He steadies the ship and sends it down the line. Swarm of players here, and Witts in the middle of the pack takes a good strong mark, the big man for the Suns. Near side wing, down the line he goes, punched away from Collins. Solid work from Cameron, and it'll be a throw-in right next to the dugouts here. 33 seconds left on the clock. Overcast conditions prevailing at the G. Throw in, Witts at the back, disposed of his man, offloads to Ellis, who just sends it to a 2-on-1. Casbolt was outnumbered. Madgen is there. Quaynor wrapped up in a tackle by McPherson. The umpire crosses himself, so 23 seconds left for the Suns to do something. It's at right half forward, right on the 50-metre arc. Umpire balls it up. Falls towards Ellis, who goes without it. Rankin with a little toe poke. Tried to get it to the advantage of Miller. Then Dacos got a hurried kick away to his brother. That time it was Josh attempting to get it to Nick. And Nick was held and got the free kick. Sends it down the line near side wing. Cameron at the front, and there is the siren. So it's a 21-point margin here at half-time at the MCG. For Collingwood, goals to Degoe, Brown, McCreery and Madgen. 3 for Myercheck, 2 for Ginnivan. And for the Gold Coast Suns, Chol, Holman, Roses all on the scoreboard. Casbolt with 4. It's 11-5-71 Collingwood. Gold Coast 8-2-50. Half-time on AFL Nation.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for McDonald's. Order via the My Macca's app and start earning today.
Pink buns are back at Baker's Delight. Buy a pink fun bun from Baker's Delight and 100% of all fun bun sales goes to Breast Cancer Network Australia. Available now until May 18.
Every interview and every show. Listen to the podcast now. Just click the catch up button on the SEN app.
We buy stock that you can't move. BuyMyStock.com.au.
If your business has stock that you just can't move, you need BuyMyStock.com.au. They're stock clearing experts and can turn your unwanted stock into cash. Big or small, they'll clear it all. Make your unwanted stock problems go away. Visit BuyMyStock.com.au today. BuyMyStock.com.au.
We buy stock that you can't move. BuyMyStock.com.au.
Shawl Unify. National experts in workwear and uniforms. Shawl Unify. For construction and healthcare. Shawl Unify. For government, corporate and hospitality. Shawl Unify. For retailers, transport and logistics. Shawl Unify is an Australian company and your national B2B uniform and workwear expert with over 30 years experience in corporate uniforms and workwear. A better way to manage your uniforms and workwear. Unify your team at shawlunify.com.
Have you got a dream renovation, a dream man cave?
Robot's got it.
Robot Building Supplies can help you get the job done. Robot's been servicing the building, fencing, engineering, roofing and cabinet making industries for over 70 years now. So when it comes to experience and reliability,
Robot's got it.
With 24-hour delivery, dream one day, build the next. Robot Building Supplies. Notting Hill, Sunshine, Preston, Dramana, Pakenham, Coldstream and Darnham. robotbuildingsupplies.com.au.
ROBOT Robot Building Supplies.
From first-time browsing to big-time arousing, Sexyland is all about fun. We have Australia's biggest range of sexy costumes, couples' toys, fun gifts and games for adults. And our team of fun specialists are always here to help in-store and online. Sexyland 11 stores open 7 days until midnight in Melbourne and Geelong, or shop online and get 2-hour delivery.
Get the power of safer tyres before you go on holidays. A road safety message from Tyre Power.
Having out-of-balance tyres causes uneven tread wear and an uncomfortable ride. You'll also cop excess wear on your suspension and other parts of your vehicle. If you experience severe vibration while driving, especially highway speeds, get your tyres dynamically balanced at your local Tyre Power store straight away.
Get the power of expert advice. Get the power of Australia's biggest independent. Tyre Power.
Get the power.
For the hottest of hot party you've ever seen. Cream comes on steady, hot and strong. It just keeps on and on.
Want the assurance of an Aussie family-sized electric water heater with a 12-year cylinder warranty?
Install a ring. Install a ring.
Then accept nothing less than Australia's best.
Weekend. If you're in the garden or on the clock, All Green Nursery and Garden have got all you need. Plants, tools, supplies, local expert help. Get it all now with All Green and get stuck in. All Green. Hoppers Crossing, Epping and allgreen.com.au.
Looking for innovative appliances designed with the environment in mind? Then look no further. For over 110 years, Whirlpool has been a leader in kitchen and laundry appliances. Using patented 6 Sense technology, Whirlpool guarantees outstanding results while saving precious time and energy. That's the best result for you, your family and the environment. So, have you got a Whirlpool? Visit whirlpool.com.au to find a stockist near you.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Sports Power, your local footy experts.
Works the angle round the body. He's done it beautifully. Nick Holman with a terrific goal from the pocket. Steadies the ship there for the Suns.
Just looking a little hesitant, not backing themselves.
This is a better play, though.
Lipinski feeds it to Madgen from just outside 50. Goes for home. Gets there. Jack Madgen gets the goal
for Collingwood. Lipinski sold some candy. Kick was smothered off the boot. Falls to Ginnivan against the pocket. Kept it in, left it hanging. Dodges one, dodges two. Put it on your boot and put it through for the most spectacular goal from Ginnivan. And hasn't that brought the MCG to life?
Maccas, I'm loving it moments. Order via the My Maccas app and start earning today.
Yes, what a great moment that was. Every time that man gets near the ball, Jack Ginnivan, the Collingwood faithful, they absolutely love it. And it did bring the MCG to life with a magnificent goal. It really did... Well, it got us off our feet here in the broadcast box, no doubt about that. The I'm loving it moments for McDonald's. Order via the My Maccas app and start earning today. And now it's time for the halftime floor show for the Choices Flooring sale on now.
The Choices Flooring Halftime Floor Show. Choices Flooring's Watch Your Lifestyle catalogue sale on now.
So it is the Magpies by 21 at half-time. 11-5-71 Collingwood. Gold Coast Suns 8-2-50. And as far as goal kickers are concerned, Brody Myercheck for Collingwood with 3, 2 for Jack Ginnivan, and single goals for Jordan De Goey, Tyler Brown, Darcy Cameron with 2, by the way. Beau McCreary also with 1 goal. And Jack Madgen from a half-back. He surged through and kicked a terrific goal from outside 50, as you heard there in the highlights. points package. As far as disposals go, Patrick Lipinski for Collingwood, 20 touches, 12 kicks, 8 handballs. Tuke Miller, 16 disposals, 10 kicks, 6 handballs. John Noble, 15 disposals, 9 kicks, 6 handballs. Jack Crisp, 14 disposals, 10 and 4. Josh Dacos with 14, Taylor Adams with 13, Noah Anderson for the Suns 13, and Jared Witts 13. They've had, behind Tuke Miller, the most touches for the Suns. Matt Browl 12, Darcy Cameron, Nick Dacos on 11. A stats wrap for Safety Steel Sheds designed to save. Built to last. We're running hot for Ream. Ask your plumber to install a Ream Steady, hot and strong. Well, a few players can certainly take claim to that. Patrick Lipinski, as I mentioned, with the 20 disposals, he has been doing a good job. Darcy Cameron working his way into the ruck work and also nabbing 2 goals. And of course, I was going to give it to Jack Ginnivan, but of course he's going to be mentioned in the unmissable moments. Preempting that, Matty Cox, the unmissable moment for Drinkwise. You won't miss a moment if you Drinkwise. That was something pretty special. I touched on the fact that Jack Madgen was able to run forward and kick a goal as well. A couple of real unmissable moments there.
They were, the defender becoming the full forward at full stride, and then Ginnivan, he's able to back it up. He's just full of confidence, and even the confidence when he kicked that goal of, I can get around 3 up against the boundary line. It was a superb goal from the young man who's had the spotlight well and truly on him this week.
And even when he's on the boundary line, he spent some tickets kicking that goal, because he got back down on the bench and got a bit of a rub down to the right thigh, and even just coming onto the ground, just wandering along the boundary. Everything's spectacular about him. Everything's a bit of theatre, and I think the Collingwood faithful are going to have a lot of fun watching him over the years. Now, the injury update for Safety HQ. safetyhq.com.au. Get new work gear now. So Callum Brown was the Medi sub, but he was a late inclusion, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. Unsure why they switched it around. Might have been a tactical move, but Reef McGuinness was the late out of the side, but he's been named as the sub, so there's obviously no injury issue on that front. Jeremy Sharp, the sub as well, get to be activated for the Suns.
And for the 2 or 3 days we've been hearing about how the gastrovirus has been going through the club, but Jordan De Goey certainly out there, and also Will Hoskin-Elliott. They've both had possessions through the match. And the Medi sub, just for the record, for Gold Coast Suns, if you're just joining us, is Jeremy Sharp, number 20 for the Gold Coast Suns. MEGT Rookie of the Day. MEGT, your local apprenticeship experts. Call 13-MEGT today. Well, it's a learning curve for young Aidan Begg in the ruck. He's backing up Darcy Cameron, and he's doing some good things.
He is. There's a lot of responsibility on those two gentlemen, given that Brodie Grundy is going to be missing a significant period of time, and it's a sign of faith from Craig McRae too, to go to the debutant who was picked up as their second pick, Collingwood's second pick in last year's mid-season draft, and has spent some time recovering from a shoulder injury since he's arrived at Collingwood. But to be selected in front of Mason Cox seems to be an indication of there's a bit of confidence for the young man to deliver on the big stage.
Around the grounds for Chemist Warehouse, great savings every day. Terrific match at the other side of town, the Bombers and also the Bulldogs. That'll be on your wirelesses, I suppose you could say, or mobile phones, or whichever way you listen to it on AFL Nation. Might bring Liam Pickering in for the coach of the day for TC Boxes, home for trays, canopies and toolboxes.
You've got it slightly in front for Craig McRae at the moment as a coaching perspective, but I think Stewie Dew made a couple of good adjustments in that second quarter, and the margin's not out of control, as well as they're playing Collingwood, and they're playing in real spurts. They're playing with pace, that's what I like, but there's a good little battle going on in the box.
We'll be taking calls all weekend on the Kogan Open line. Make the call. Switch to Kogan Mobile for $2.90 for 30 days. Or the big 20 gig of data. The halftime floor show thanks to Choices Flooring. AFL Nation for Icon Services, solutions that matter. At halftime, it is Collingwood 11-5-71. The Suns 8-2-50. More after this.
A sports news update for Rolled. Eat good with Rolled. It's fast, fresh Vietnamese.
I'm Victoria Raptis with your sports update for Old. In AFL, Geelong held off Fremantle 66-69. GWS cruised to a 59-point win over Adelaide. Melbourne continued their unbeaten start with a win over Hawthorn. Port Adelaide overcame the Saints by 1 point. And Carlton held on to a top 8 position with a 50-point win over North Melbourne. In NRL, the North Queensland Cowboys have catapulted into the top 4 after a crushing 35-4 victory over the Parramatta Eels. A late no-try call saw the Bulldogs come out on top against the Roosters, and a late Sean Johnson field goal helped the Warriors to a 1-point victory over the Raiders.
A sports news update for Rolled. Fast, fresh Vietnamese. You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation. For Sports Power, your local footy experts.
Are you game ready? Your local Sports Power store is supporting local footy clubs and players with everything you're going to need for the footy season ahead. With a great range of boots, footwear, balls, training and protective gear from all the big brands like Adidas, Asics, Nike, Puma, New Balance, Sharon and Shock Doctor. So if you want to get game ready, get into your local Sports Power store and check them out. Find your nearest Sports Power store at sportspower.com.au.
We're your local experts, Sports Power.
Oh, a good mark to Wilson. He plays on at full pace and kicks a beauty to Thomas. Thomas gives off to Harris. Harris closes in on 50. But wait, he's tackled by Smith. Or is it Williams? Williams scrabbles for the ball. Kicks it to a guy in blue who kicks it to some other guy in blue. Now some tall bloke has the ball. He kicks it to an even taller bloke. Kick. Handball. Kick.
Don't miss the best bits. You won't miss a moment if you drink Wise. Proudly brought to you by Drinkwise.
Safety Steel, time to get real.
Tim Watson here. Can you remember as a kid painting goals on the side of your dad's shed and shooting for goals day after day? Well, they built them tough back then, just like the sheds from Safety Steel. For prefab steel kit buildings and custom designed sheds that are tough and durable, search Safety Steel. For your dream shed, search Safety Steel.
Safety Steel, time to get real.
There are people who prefer chicken McBites, others McNuggets, and some McPieces. But thanks to the spicy, sticky barbecue sauce within the Chicken Deluxe Share Pack, all three have common ground. Chicken and Maccas, together and loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Available after 10:30am for a limited time only.
For Australian designed and engineered storage solutions for your ute that'll keep your stuff safe and secure, see TC Boxes. Their trays, canopies and toolboxes are perfect for on the job and awesome for a spot or weekend camping with the mates. Visit tcboxes.com.au.
If your business has stock that you just can't move, buymystock.com.au. Make your unwanted stock problems go away. Visit buymystock.com.au today.
We buy stock that you can't move. buymystock.com.au.
For sprucing up the backyard or undertaking a major landscaping project and everything in between, here's the hot tip, allgreen.com.au. Yep, you can now get everything you need in store from your local experts at All Green Nursery and Garden or sorted online. Plants, tools, soils and mulch, all delivered to your home or worksite by All Green. So you can thank me later and get that new project started now. All Green, stockists of Cement Australia Cement, Hoppers Crossing, Epping and allgreen.com.au.
I plan for in advance everything. My life is planned to a T.
Some of the things I plan for in advance would have to be obviously holidays. I'm always looking forward to the next journey.
I can't even go to a restaurant without looking up the menu online and deciding what I'm going to eat.
Currently, I'm planning an overseas trip back to the UK.
The beauty of a fixed price funeral plan is that the price never changes and you can celebrate your life the way you want. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
A great night out doesn't get delivered. And the Fork Festival is on right now. Get up to 50% off at loads of insanely tasty restaurants. Go fooding with the Fork app.
Download the Fork app and book now.
T's and C's apply.
Okay, my battery's nearly gone. Am I picking up the kids from training or you are?
Yeah, can you get them from 5?
Couldn't hear you. Can you say that again? My battery's nearly... flat.
Without charge on your phone, nomophobia kicks in. No mobile phone phobia. You can beat it with a Signet Power Bank. With a Signet Power Bank, there's no more running out of charge when you need it most.
Yeah, okay, great. I'll be there at 5 to get the kids.
Aussie owned, Aussie designed. Power your life with a Signet Power Bank. Signet.com.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation. For Sports Power, your local footy experts.
2:50 as both sides make their way back out onto the MCG for the second half, moments away from kicking off. It's just got a little gloomier here at the G. The inner lights, not the big floodlights, it just started to have an impact. It's a bit cloudy, overcast. The wind's picked up too as we head towards the second half. It's been an entertaining game of footy so far. Matthew Cox, Matty Hill and Liam Pickering on the call with you this afternoon on AFL Nation, all thanks to Tyre Power. Save on Falcon, the store-wide super sale now on, and for McDonald's, order via the My Macca's app and start earning it today. Pickers, how do we see this second half unfolding? In fact, I'll go to you, Matty Hill, because someone's a bit preoccupied with the...
Hello, Matthew.
Well, you have to... In fairness, in this particular area that we're in, you have to go for the sausage rolls very quickly because...
they get hammered.
Gee, they get hammered, don't they?
Yeah.
You miss the kick, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance at them. I only had a couple of little party pies, but they'll do me.
And didn't bring any back for anyone else.
Well, it's not a long walk. You're carrying on about seeing yourself on the big screen. God almighty. Wow. Right,
what's your resume again?
Collingwood. They've been very good in the first half. Lipinski's an interesting player. He's had 20 disposals, but I don't think he's had a huge amount of impact.
No.
Yeah, would you have noticed he had 20?
Yeah, no.
I mean, he doesn't certainly use the ball like Pendlebury and some of these other guys. But
or even Tuke Miller, who's had 16. We know he's there, don't we?
You see he runs with it. Lipinski gets a lot of in-close possessions. And there's nothing wrong with them either, by the way, if you've got the blokes outside here. But I just like the way Collingwood got their act together in little packages really of goals, wasn't it? There was a little run of 4 or 5 in a row in the first quarter, and then again late in that second quarter, only to give up the last 2.
So is it consistency then that we're searching for them in this third term? Because it's ebbing and flowing, and whether that's also a result of the Gold Coast Suns being challenged and going, righto, we need to respond to you.
Well, they have responded, the Suns.
Multiple times.
Yeah, they have, and I think take nothing away from what they're doing. Collingwood just seem to be the better side. You get a 21-point lead at half-time. It feels like that's about the difference in the teams, which is what we all said going in. Of course, apart from you, Coxie, of course, you went for the Gold Coast, but that's what Matty and I said, and everyone else that I know, that it was, it's probably a 3 or 4 goal better team. The Suns, well, they'll have to start well in this third quarter because the Pies get the first couple and it gets out to 5 goals again. I'm not sure they'll be having another throw at the stumps.
11-5, 71 Collingwood, Gold Coast 8-2-50. Before we really sink into this third term, this Essendon Bulldogs game's an interesting game. If the Bulldogs happen to fall,
that'll be the big story.
That's a really big story for their season.
Yeah, I don't think they will. No. I think they'll find something today. They'll be smarting after losing to Adelaide last week. In a game at Ballarat, they would have expected to win, but we're seeing a lot of upsets at the moment. Like, not many people thought Fremantle would win yesterday at Geelong. They did. They found a way.
And interesting to note, it looks as though Dylan Shield has been named the sub in that encounter. Yeah. So he hasn't gone back to the VFL. He's going to start as the sub, which is... They would
have said that from the get-go. He would have known Wednesday or Thursday night he was going to be the Medi sub.
Would you prefer then for him to go back to the VFL? If you're going to make a statement...
Well, the statement should be, if you're going to put him out of the side, don't put him as a sub, put him in the VFL and get a kick. And do what work on what we're asking you to do. Anyway, let's get back to the MCG here.
Yep, opening bounce for Tyre Power. Save on Falcon store-wide super sale now on. Matty Cox, Liam Pickering and Matty Hill to get us underway for the second half here at the MCG.
So it'll be Cameron and Witts to kick us off, and that bounce goes violently astray and will be called back. So a throw up in the middle. Rise smile from the umpire. Witts and Cameron. Witts won the tap narrowly. Adams tried to go the soccer kick. Didn't go really anywhere. The umpire wants it again. So the third ball up. Witts got it down towards Miller. Through his legs it went. And then Lukosius, he's wrapped up in a 2-man tackle by De Goey and Cameron. And it'll be thrown up again. Up it goes. Witts and Cameron wrestle for it down to Dacos. Josh Dacos, who hacks it to centre half forward, 2-on-1.
Holding.
Suns have the numbers, but it was in the end being held Ballard, and Ballard will take the free kick at centre half back for the Suns. Pokes it short. It finds Swallow. He'll go short to Miller.
Whether they play a possession type game, which appears to be the case, when they go fast they look dangerous, the Suns.
Ainsworth now has a defensive side of the outer wing.
Yeah, Witts has gone down long here for the long option.
Goes long in the direction of Casbolt. May have been interrupted in the build-up. Moore came across the front of the contest, takes it away and feeds it to Myercheck. Centre wing on the outer side. Now he stops and has a think about what he does next. He'll go short to Adams. Through centre wing. Front of the Shane Warne stand of the MCG. He takes off. Miller wearing him down. Got the kick away. Ginnivan applies the clamp. We get a ball up at half forward for the Pies. 11-5-71 plays 8-2-50, all thanks to Victoria Police Assistance Line scoreboard. Approaching 2 minutes in this third term, thanks to McKeith.
Half forward for the Pies. Chris was able to steal it only momentarily. Anderson turns it over, got it to Miller. He's under pressure. Handball, Rao. Handball, Anderson. This is a good kick to Lukosius, who had his name written all over it, and takes a good grab in the centre of the ground. Momentarily held up. And then it was running for him, Anderson, who sends it in long towards Chol. Chol had one bite of the cherry, gathers, got it to Rankin. Rankin looking to go around the body. Handball, he goes to Holman. Holman straightens up, goes for goal and kicks it. That's his second. And the 74 supporters at the punt road end for the Suns are absolutely going Ponty. It's 11-5-71 Collingwood, 9-2-56 the Suns, a 15-point ball game.
Yeah, great. Again, they went through the middle of the ground. It was brave. It was a good releasing handball, a good long kick in. Chol had a fair piece of it in the marking contest and then was able to get it to Rankin. There was a nice little dish off for Nick Holman. He could have strolled right in there and just banged it home from 25 or 15 metres, really. Could have ran all the way to the goal square. Good start. They've kicked the last three here.
I know we've been a bit critical of Rankin today, but that was a smart move from him. He could have blazed away and had the snap.
Correct.
But for him to lower the vision...
it was a smart move. It was good. That's what he needs to do more of.
Just play his role rather than search for the limelight, I think would be one way of describing it. 11-5-71 plays 9-2-56 here on AFL Nation for Tyre Power. Sale on Falcon store-wide super sale. Now on. Anderson looped it wide for Miller. Got knocked as he got the kick away towards half forward. Quaynor beat out Rankin in the contest. Takes the mark at half back out of side. Go towards the wing. Cameron in a contest with Farah. Rowell at the fall of the footy. Fed it to Miller. Goes in search of Ellis. Takes it on the half volley. Will go back inside attacking 50 for the Suns. Chol floated in front of the pack.
Well done, Levi Casbolt. He just blocked the run of Darcy Moore so he couldn't get a fist in. Got his big backside in front of Darcy and he couldn't get around him. Oh, well done. That's the protection you want. That means your forwards are connecting well together when you know that it's not all about you getting the ball, Levi. It's a terrific play. Giving his mate a chance for his third.
Considering both have come from different clubs, different programs to be
connecting well.
Being in sync already. 7 rounds into the season. Chol comes in, lining up for his third. Converts. Marviol Chol's got 3. And the Suns are just clawing their way back. The margin is now 9 points on the Victoria Police Assistance Line scoreboard. Use the Police Assistance Line for non-urgent situations. 10-2-62 plays 11-5-71. They've kicked the first 2 goals in each quarter so far, the Suns.
Well, they've kicked the last 2 of the second quarter and the first 2 of the third. So exactly the fast start they needed. Bring that margin back to 9. And playing some good footy. They're using the ball well. Took Miller's got real busy. Been very good at the start of this third quarter.
Crucial moment for New Farm Australian through and through, I think, is about to come, because this is where Collingwood have got on top in the previous 2 quarters. Yep. Can the Gold Coast continue with the momentum?
Yeah, well, they've been able to pile on consecutive goals in both the first 2. The centre bounce is just critical here.
So, banked into the turf, and it was... Wits with the win that time. Cameron was able to gather, got it to Pendlebury, who just grubbers one forward towards Crispin Weller. Ball in dispute. Weller uses the body, goes in hard against Cameron. Umpire's going to ball it up in the middle. So all of a sudden, a tough football to win. Collingwood by 9. Early in the third term. Wits down to Miller through his fingertips. Rowell trying to shrug 1, trying to shrug 2. Ball in dispute again. Stacks on the mill. And the umpire's going to give a free kick for a high against Anderson. In fact, for Anderson. And Anderson's going to run away and spread it towards the outer wing. And he goes out and finds Weller.
Weller searches further afield. Rankin behind Quaynor. Quaynor got down low. Thumped it in the path of Ellis, though. Feeds it back to Weller. Centre wing out of side for the Suns. Reloads. Casbolt and Moore. Casbolt brings it to ground. Pendlebury standing in the way. Got it to Quaynor. Crisp fumbled. Brought down by Rowell, who tries to extract and then gets claimed himself by Quaynor. The umpire says, give it to me. I'll ball it up on the 50 arc. Punt road end. That's the way the Suns are kicking to in this third term. We're 6.5 minutes into it. Thanks to Makita, rule the outdoors. Witts dumps it straight into the hands of Cameron, who gave it to Crisp. Up against the boundary line on that outer side. Collins, happy to see it over the line in front of Myercheck, will throw it in. On the centre wing. 11-5-71 Collingwood, leading the Suns 10-62, all thanks to the Victoria Police Assistance line.
Throw in, true centre wing outer side. Witts works his way to the front. Takes it out of the air to Anderson. Throws it on the boot. It's too hot for Chol. Goes over his head. Quaynor with some isolation under a bit of pressure. Kicks it outside 50. And there's Ginnivan, who takes the mark. Offloads to Noble. Kicks it long towards right half forward. McCreary can run onto it, but the bounce didn't really help him. He's wrapped up in a tackle by Farah. Tries to scrounge the ball away. Side bottom kicks it to himself. Runs inside 45. On an angle though. Darts one in low towards Brown. To go. He's got it now. To go. Can he snap round the body? Round the corner. Misses to the left. Good passage of play for the Pies. 11-6-72, 10-2-62. The Suns 10 points. First 5 minutes, third term.
Weller calling for players to come at him. He's standing right on the edge of the defensive goal square. He now takes off towards the outer side. Miller almost collided with Ellis, who gets paid the mark. Just.
He had to pay though. A fair piece of it.
Goes short to Swallow, so a couple of the veterans combining at half back for the Suns.
Looking inside though, I like this. Try and get it back to the corridor as much as they can.
Anderson comes wide with a kick to Farah. Nearly slipped over as he prepared to take the mark. He angles it inboard to Lukosius, who now goes up the corridor in search of Ainsworth. Quaynor closing in, got the fist involved. Bottom of the contest, Lipinski to side bottom, tries to open up Crisp, takes it on the half volley, gets it to Pendlebury up the corridor. Myercheck takes the mark on a slight angle, 40 metres out. Nice overlap run from the Pies after the intercept. Ends up with a shot for goal for Brodie Myercheck. Already has 3 on the board this afternoon. Comes in, slide angle, kicks from 45 and converts for his 4th. Margin 16 points. 12-6-78 plays 10-2-62 on the Victoria Police Assistance Line scoreboard. 9.5 gone in this third term, thanks to Makita. Rule the outdoors. Our expert this afternoon here on AFL Nation is Liam Pickering for buymystock.com.au.
We talk about the beautiful kick Jack Lukosius. He bit off a bit too much then. He tried to drill one 55 metres, but he kicked it too high for little Ben Ainsworth. An easy defensive spoil by Quaynor. Once it got into the hands of side bottom, Crisp and Pendlebury, always something good was going to happen. And Myercheck just leading out, taking it pretty easy chest mark, and a nice finish for his 4th.
Collingwood by 16. Almost gone 10 for Makita. As the Victoria Police Assistance Line use the Police Assistance Line for non-urgent situations. Whitson Begg. His first game for the Pies, Begg. Witts won it down. And then Swallow in a standing tackle. He's wrapped up. It'll be a ball up again in the middle of the ground. And it's Witts with the big fist that time, only as far as Hoskin Elliott for Collingwood. Hacks one into the air. Going the fist, Barderick. It goes behind him. Collins had to do a bit of work. He thumps it forward to the advantage of Miller, but it was too hot for him. Hoskin Elliott. Handball Lipinski. Handball Brown on the 50-metre arc. Centering kick. Witts has to do a bit of work here. It's a long way down. Picks it up. Handball Anderson. And they work it really well. The Suns through Ainsworth. Handball McPherson. And they're charging through the middle. Chol out wide is all on his own. 55 metres out. One bounce. And he mucks it up. So he has to steady, regather. And Ainsworth was running for him, fills the space and takes the mark 40 metres out on an angle.
They look really dangerous on the transition, the Gold Coast. Collingwood players, they're pushing up, and gee, if they turn it over, they're getting exposed with loose players everywhere in the forward of the ball.
So Ben Ainsworth, a fast midfielder, kicks his fair share of goals as well. He's kicked 58 in his career. And he'll be kicking from 60-degree angle, 45 metres out. He comes in straight as a die. It was a beautiful kick, a great hit. And they've been very accurate, the Suns, today. 11-2, 68. 10 points behind Collingwood, 12-6, 78. Thanks to the Victoria Police assistance line. We've been going 12 minutes in the third term, and this is interesting, Pickers. 10 points.
Well, it is, and that was really important because, as Coxie mentioned earlier, they've got the first 2 goals of the first quarter and the first 2 goals of the second quarter, the Suns, but then Collingwood were able to pile a few on. So once the Mycheck goal went through, that was really important that the Gold Coast got the next one again and kept that margin back to what it is, which is 10 points. And they're looking very good when they use the corridor, especially if on turnover across half-back, they really look dangerous because they've got that many loose players forward the ball.
And it's when they look their most confident as well going forward. Chol over the top of Begg. Davies
should have given the handball.
He should have. The kick bounces wide and unfavourably for Fiorini. Hoskin Elliott gave it to Crisp, to Brown, dodges traffic, sold the candy 3 times, feeds it back to Crisp, inside attacking 50 now for Collingwood. Collins over the top of Mycheck. Ginnivan can't escape the tackle this time. He's caught, going nowhere. The umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up, in the heart of attacking 50 for Collingwood. 10 points the margin, 13 minutes in.
Well, lucky not to get a free then, Ginnivan.
Chol disposed of his opponent. Didn't really get a clean handball away, and Hoskin Elliott gathers, sprays the shot for goal, and it just sneaks in for a minor score. 12-7-79 plays, 11-2-68 on the Victoria Police assistance line scoreboard. It's AFL Nation for McDonald's. Order via the MyMaccas app and start earning today.
Sure why Hoskin Elliott didn't kick that with his right foot then. He got himself into a bit of trouble going on with his left.
So it's the Pies by 11 as Weller leaves the square to the outer pocket and sends it towards the outer wing. Casbolt caught at the back, and Moore's taken a good strong mark for Collingwood, so they can send it back in here. So it's
Suns are getting the numbers back, though. They're getting all the numbers back, Matty.
Cavalry gets back, and Moore kicks it long and strong. Chol's back there, went for the fist, through his hands it goes, and cleared everybody. And it's about 10 metres around from the left behind post. A forward pocket for the Pies. Cameron and Chol in the ruck. Thrown in. Cameron through his fingertips. Chol picks it off the ground. Dodges and weaves, and little offload to Weller, who sends it long. It's going to go back to where it came from. Moore couldn't quite take the mark. Maynard handball to Begg, who dropped it. McPherson throws himself over the top. So too Lukosius. And the umpires found a free kick for in the back, and it's going to Collingwood and Begg.
Debutant to take the free kick on the centre wing outer side. 79 plays 68. Pies in front and going forward again. Collins with the fist inside 50 for the Pies. Anderson lost control of it. So too Ballard almost scooped it away. Weller fighting in for it. Half back for the Suns. It stacks on. We get a ball up. Lipinski still leading all comers on the safety steal sheds stats sheet. 22 disposals to his name. No, Anderson 21. Tuke Miller with 21 as well. Begg scooped it down to that man Lipinski. Almost gets it to Cameron. Almost took the mark in the square. Suns will be happy to see it over the line for a behind. Farah taking it over to release some pressure. 12-8-80, plays 11-2-68 on the Victoria Police assistance line scoreboard.
Buderick outside 50 was looking for Anderson, but Noble comes charging, and then Anderson nearly took Noble's head off. So at right half forward, he's got the free kick. So Noble 70 metres out. Long to the pocket, 2-on-2, make that 2-on-3. Collingwood outnumbered. Mycheck tried to really grubber it through from the pocket, but he tripped over the ball, and it's gone over the boundary line, right forward pocket. Collingwood 80, Sun 68.
Seriously, he had a fresh area. He kicked the ground.
It's a clanger for Amy. Who covers clangers? Amy does. Quite a comical one at that. Chol to Miller. Up and under kick. trying to relieve some pressure and gain some territory. Casbolt and Howe underneath. It came to ground level. Ainsworth tries to poke it out in front of Roses. Quaynor on his hammer collects it silkly, but his kick got smothered. Fiorini tries to feed it back to Roses. Ball still at half forward for the Pies. Nick Dacos runs away from the traffic, puts it inside, attacking 50. Cameron and DeGoey went for it. Ball to ground. They scoop it into the path of Brown. He finds his brother, who tries to go back to Nick Dacos. Anderson got clobbered as he went over the top of the footy. Collingwood still with numbers. Nick Dacos loops the handball, searching for Hoskin. Elliott gets claimed by Butterick, got the kick away into the pocket. Ballard happy to push it over the boundary line and out of play. We'll throw it in. Forward pocket, broadcast side for the Pies. They're 12-8-80. Gold Coast hanging around. 11-2-68 on the Victoria Police assistance line scoreboard. 17 gone in this third term thanks to Makita. Rule the outdoors.
It's a hot football at the moment. Chol and Cameron. Chol works the body. Tap down to Miller. Scrubby kick Fiorini. Quick offload Butterick. And Butterick with a scrambly kick looking for the wing. On hands and knees was Roses. Dispossessed. A lot of congestion around the football. Spills out towards Noble. Can't quite get clear purchase. Snaffles it away. Did well at ground level. Picks it up and kicks it to the top of the square. No mark. Myercheck. Ginnivan running onto it. Ginnivan with one toe poke, two toe poke. Soccer kick missed to the left. It would have been something else if he put it through, but he misses to the left.
He did well.
12-9-81 Collingwood, 11-2-68 the Suns. 8.5 left on the Makita Rule the outdoor clock.
It's just a noise when he goes near the ball. It's unbelievable.
That roar is 5 metres. The roar started building.
It did. I can't remember the last Collingwood player that had that sort of a roar around him as a forward. It'd be a while.
Evans in the back pocket. Aggressive kick to Ballard, who feeds it to Farrow, who takes off from half-back. 2 bounces to the wing, almost on the logo. Now releases the kick. And a nice mark taken by Lukosius. Wanted to move immediately around Madgen. Inside 50. Casbolt setting himself again and clunks it.
Well, they are getting opened up from the back half, Collingwood. They've got loose players at Gold Coast. When they're brave and they rip it off and they go through the middle fast, they have got players everywhere forward of the ball. Levi from the top of the goal square. He's 50-50.
Well, the only thing in his favour, though, Pix, he's kicked 3 goals in the exact same spot down the other end.
Well, he's even closer than normal. They should have no problems from here. Levi for his 5th.
Comes in. And, oh, no. Goes to the left.
Oh, dear Levi. He's 15 metres out.
That is the crucial moment for New Farm. Australian through and through. Suns 11-3-69. Pies still in front, 12-9-81, thanks to Victoria Police assistance line.
It's so deflating for that young team when you have a senior player miss a goal that easily.
Myercheck at centre half-back handball. Pendlebury long handball. Crisp on the logo out of side. Crisp with the running handball to Josh Dacos, who's tackled. Great tackle. Terrific work. Crisp with the gather. Now to Nick Dacos, 51 metres out. He unloads. He sends it long towards Ginnivan. Punched away from him. It's through for a behind. Collingwood 12-10-82, Suns 11-3-69, 20 minutes gone thanks to Makita. Third term on AFL Nation. And don't forget, it's the Dons and the Bombers coming up after this for Chemist Warehouse around the grounds. Great savings every day on AFL Nation.
Short ball from Weller to Swallow in the back pocket out of sight. Butterick still taking...
Yeah, he's limping around, isn't he?
He collected the goalpost as he got the spoil in over the top of Ginnivan.
He might have rolled his ankle, Coxie.
Keep an eye on that with our boundary update in a moment for Snaffle. Bite-sized payments win. Suns have worked it to the attacking side of the outer wing where Roses sees it over the boundary line and out of play. He's still staying out there for the moment, Butterick, but he's severely hampered. Into time on third term on the Makita Rule the outdoors clock.
Oh, I've just seen a replay. Thanks to Easy Debit, he's rolled his ankle. That can be very dangerous. Back underway.
They need a score here.
Rouse puts it inside 50. Moore came in front. Holman arrived on the scene. Ball spills free. Ellis claimed immediately by Maynard. All wrapped up. We'll get a ball up at centre half forward for the Suns. He's still out there though, Butterick. Only recently returned from a knee injury. Wits into the path of Miller. just waits for the right option and chooses it almost. Tolman got punched away by Moore. Maynard soccers the kick off the carpet. Roses, though, gathers. Fed it to Davis. Tries to spin himself out of trouble. Did. Rouse, short ball, not good enough. Rankin had to apply the tackle on Howard. Spills free side bottom there to mop up for the Pies. He finds Lipinski. Loops it further afield to Pendlebury. There'll be a 50-metre penalty, though, for the Pies. Not 100% sure what for, but it'll be side bottom to take it.
He was holding on after the ball had been released. Good decision.
So side bottom back in the middle of the MCG after that 50. Kicks it to Begg. Begg at centre half forward. The debutant kicks it long. His eyes have lit up, and then Ginnivan takes the mark right on the goal square.
Well, it was about to go through. Could have given the kiddies. He had to go for it, actually. It could have hit the post. He had to take the mark, and he'll just pop through his third. He's really done nothing but the 3 goals. This will be his 7th touch. But gee, you're getting a contribution of 3 goals every week. You're pretty happy if you're Craig McRae, the fly.
So Ginnivan to the city end. Point blank range for his 3rd. Listen to the reaction. 3rd goal for Ginnivan, 13th for the Pies. And that just gives them that extra buffer now. 13-10-88 to 11-3-69. 23 gone for Makita Rule the Outdoors. Our 3rd term for Tyre Power. Save on Falcon. Store White Super Sale now on.
Yeah, it was a good build-up. Sloppy free behind play, really, against side bottom. Once you do that, the defenders are all out of position. So, yeah, people will say, I should have let that go. It was Aiden Begg's first goal. But he's right near the goalpost. Look, you can't take the risk. If you can mark it, you've got to mark it.
In the end, the goalpost was a bit of a shepherd for away from Butterick in the end.
It was.
AFL Nation, all thanks to McDonald's. Order via the MyMaccas app and start earning today. And for Tyre Power, save on Falcon Store-wide Super Sale. Now on. Liam Pickering, Matt Hill and Matthew Cox with you this afternoon as Witts wins the tap. Cameron following up from the ruck contest. Anderson, though, got in the way. Will send it forward for the Suns. Darcy Moore, so often does, takes the intercept mark and the harder defensive 50 for the Pies.
Well, he's gone now to Levi, which will make it a bit more difficult matchup for Levi now.
Short to Howe and short to Pendlebury. Still at centre half back. Skipper elects to go to the outer side of the ground. Long kick towards half forward. Myercheck and Collins in a wrestle. Fionarini found Anderson by hand. Tries to loop it in the path of McPherson. Went to ground. Scoops it clear. Anderson's kick smothered. Pies with numbers. Brown to Quaynor to side bottom. He fumbles, but time to gather in front of Witts.
Took Big Wittsy on.
Up against the boundary line, he did. Pops the handball in front of Adams, who will send it inside, attacking 50 for Collingwood. Myercheck. He got knocked out of the way. Luckily, Josh Dacos arrived on the scene and put it through from 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Moves the Pies to 14-10-94. Gold Coast 11-3-69. All thanks to Victoria Police Assistance Line. Our expert this afternoon here on AFL Nation, Liam Pickering, thanks to buymystock.com.au.
Yeah, it was a real good contest, an excellent contest. Again, bit of transition. Gee, it was funny. Look at Big Witts. He's trying to corral Steel Sidebottom. He's going, hang on a minute, Wittsy. You were at Collingwood, mate. I know I can outrun you. Anyway, the ball got dropped in. A good contest by Myercheck and DeGoey, and Josh Dacos at a really good spot. Front and centre, and just had enough composure to waltz into goal.
And Piggers, Coxie mentioned the fact that the Suns are ebbing and flowing. It seems like they start quarters really quickly. They can't see each quarter out.
Well, that's the thing. They haven't been able to get multiple goals in a row, really. They've got little fits and starts, you know, 2 goals here, 1 goal there. Whereas Collingwood, when they have been able to do it, they seem to be able to score multiple goals in a row.
94-69. Collingwood lead. Davies barging through the middle. Got it to Anderson. He's wrapped up in a 3-man standing tackle, but was able to get rid of it in time. Pie supporters didn't like that. Foraging around on the ground. Pops out to Quaynor, who just tries to tap it to the advantage of Pendlebury. Brown's in there for Collingwood. Little kick Fiorini from the Gold Coast. Howe with a diving attempt at mark. Nearly snaffled it, dropped it. A lot of congestion. Pendlebury over the top of a hatching Gold Coast player. Appealing desperately to the umpire. He's going to ping him. holding the ball against Holman. So Pendlebury with the free kick at half-back.
Tells you, Matty, when nothing's happening and the umpires are standing there, you know he's going to pin him.
It was a delayed reaction, as they call it. Quaynor sends it down the line, overrun by Nick Dacos. Fending him off, Fiorini with the ball. Handball to no one in particular, so Quaynor runs onto it. Handball out wide, Myercheck to settle the ship and kicks it to Nick Dacos. Dumped after he marked it. He's got it at half forward for the Pies.
I wanted 50, but it wasn't. And Nick Dacos has been contributing again today.
Mr. waits for a lead inside 50, decides to bob it up.
It's a good spot to kick it.
Witts wasn't able to get a clear run at it. McCreary came through, couldn't take possession. Ellis mopping up, feeds it to Lemons, who does a U-turn back to Ballard in the goal square. Goes wide to Fiorini, who was in a contest with Myercheck, who did enough to push it over the boundary line and out of play. Will throw it in inside, attacking 50 for the Pies.
I like his game, Myercheck. He's been really important. Not just the goals he's kicked, but just the way he presents. And what he does, naturally does as a working forward. He puts the pressure on the defence, goes to every contest he can.
Nervous anytime he's in the vicinity as Brown laid on a tackle on Rowell. Luckily a break free, but Davis kick will go well wide and side bottom now to take the kick. Just outside, attacking 50 for Collingwood. They're 14-10-94, leading Gold Coast 11-3-69.
Alex Davies is finding it a little bit hard. The pressures are too much for him so far today. He's feeling the pace of the game out.
Up against the boundary, 70 metres outside bottom, kicks it long to a contest, off hands. Cameron at the back tries to wrestle the ball away, then hacked out by Collins towards the 50-metre arc, running back with the flight of the ball. That's an excellent grab from Taylor Adams.
Yeah, still side ball. I should have given him a bit more protection there, to be fair.
Adams goes short centering, Crisp up the corridor, takes the mark. So Jack Crisp can go back.
There were 3 Gold Coast players in that area, and he was able to mark uncontested. 35 metres out directly in front.
He's kicked 2 behinds, 21 disposals, Jack Crisp. He'll be directly in front, kicking from about 45.
A really good player.
As we talked about earlier, what a servant he's been with consecutive matches, kicking to the city end with the left boots. Crowd loved it as soon as he kicked it, and he loved it as soon as he kicked it. First goal for Crisp, 15th for Collingwood. They're seeing out this all-important third term really well. 15-10-100. 11-3-69. The Suns have been going 29 for Makita Rule the Outdoors. Around the grounds for Chemist Warehouse, great savings every day. Dons and also the Doggies will be from Marvel and AFL Nation after the final siren here.
Sure will. And then we've got the other belter of a game as well. Sydney and Brisbane and Sydney at the SCG. It'll be pumping tonight, the SCG. If it's not raining. It's been raining a bit up there. Heavy 9s, heavy 10s.
So you've had a crack today at Collingwood supporters. Now you're having a crack at Sydney.
Well, they have a crack at us about the weather most of the time.
Everyone in Sydney reckons we have crap weather. We're having a pretty good afternoon here. We're not getting flooded.
Well, apart from that bounce from the umpire, like a backyard bounce.
That was a shocking bounce, wasn't it? He actually bounced the ball, ended up on the wing. You're right.
Which won the throw up in the end.
On the wing.
And gave it to Miller. That might have been the clanger for Amy. Cameron releases the kick towards half forward. Weller got in front of Nick Dacos and takes off. Puts the ball inside, attacking 50. Rankin put the arms out, didn't take it in. Chol went without it. Casbolt applies the tackle on Madgen. Noble comes in for some extra support for the Pies. The umpires are lurking. And the free kick will go the way of Collingwood. It'll be the skipper, Pendlebury, to take the free kick after Ainsworth dragged it in.
He didn't really drag it in. He just sort of slipped over with the ball underneath him. But to the letter of the law, that's a free kick. And you can't get it out. You've got 2 blokes hanging off you. I'm not sure how you're supposed to get it out. But... Well, the Pies have got the answers at the moment.
Pendlebury went short to Moore to the outer side. And, well, Weller was virtually on his own, uncontested, and takes the mark. So they've got 30 seconds to kick it long here, the Suns, and do their best. Chol through his fingertips. Holman. Rankin. Can he snaffle something? Kick was smothered. Chol tried to grab it from thin air. Ball to the ground. Umpire is going to ball it up. Is he? No, it's out. Noble to Ginnivan, and that's it. So the siren sounds for three-quarter time. Collingwood 15-10 100. The Suns 11-3 69. Have the Suns got something left? A little bit of niggle just as the emergency umpire runs out. That little bit of niggle's going to just dissipate there. A few players involved, but a little bit of spirit. Nothing wrong with that. Collingwood by 31. AFL Nation three-quarter time.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Mate Internet and Mobile, Australia's most satisfied NBN customers. Internet from $59.
When you're running a business, you're always working hard. Sure, you've got a team to help carry the load, but the buck stops with you. Makes sense then that you should use a payment solution that helps make getting paid easier. Easy Debit is the all-in-one payment solution. Whether it's direct debit for recurring or subscription payments, BPay for invoicing, FPOS, phone or online payments. When it comes to dollars, it just makes sense. Easy Debit. Payments done in one. Search EZI Debit today.
Which oil keeps your business moving? Fleet managers with essential suppliers on a deadline? They know. Road crews who keep every motorist safe? They know. Mechanics who make sure you always get to where you're going? They know. And when you really think about it, you know. Valvoline, the original engine oil.
Safety steel, time to get real.
Tim Watson here. Can you remember as a kid painting goals on the side of your dad's shed and shooting for goals day after day? Well, they built them tough back then, just like the sheds from Safety Steel. For prefab steel kit buildings and custom designed sheds that are tough and durable, search Safety Steel. For your dream shed, search Safety Steel.
Safety steel, time to get real.
Get the power of safer tyres before you go on holidays. A road safety message from Tyre Power.
There's one wheel that affects the performance of all the other wheels on your car, the steering wheel. And if your steering is out of alignment, it affects handling and vehicle stability. Poor steering alignment also causes rapid and uneven tyre wear. If you feel your vehicle pulling in one direction on a straight road, head to your nearest Tyre Power store and get your alignment checked and adjusted as soon as possible.
Get the power!
Never before in business history has the combination of hygiene, cleaning and recycling been more important. COVID changed everything and businesses need to trust their cleaning suppliers more than ever. So place your trust in Icon Services Australia, a market leader for commercial cleaning, hygiene and recycling services. Naming rights sponsor of Icon Park, the home of Carlton Football Club and AFLW. For a complete integrated solution for commercial cleaning and more, get Icon Services Australia into your business. iconservices.com.au.
Looking for a morning brew? Award-winning Coles Urban Coffee Culture is at Coles Express. Choose your coffee the way you like it. From a strong, smooth latte to a rich, medium-strength cappuccino. Be your own barista from just $1. Express yourself at Coles Express.
The Aston RX Fat Loss Program isn't just about losing weight.
I've got so much more energy. Health-wise, I've come along in leaps and bounds, and I think the weight for me was just a bonus.
With the help of Aston RX, in just 28 days, you'll form healthier habits, regain the energy to do the things you love, and see life in a whole new light.
Family and friends are now seeing me in a much happier place. It's been the greatest thing I've ever done.
Create your free fat loss plan now at astonrx.com.
Mum's always there for you. So this Mother's Day, give her a special fragrance at a special price. Like Dolce & Gabbana, the only one, 30ml, $49.99. Lancôme La Vie Est Belle, 50ml, $109.99. Chloe by Chloe, 75ml, now $109.99. Yves Saint Laurent Opium Black, 50ml, for $129.99. And Giorgio Armani C, 100ml, $139.99. Chemist Warehouse, great savings every day.
My Macca's Rewards has arrived. Get that surprise Macca's for dinner feeling when you earn points to redeem on your favourites. Like a Big Mac. Download the My Macca's app and start earning today. Value means more at Macca's. T's and C's apply. See our website for details.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation. For Sports Power, your local footy experts.
towards Chol. Chol had one bite of the cherry. Gathers, got it to Rankin. Rankin looking to go around the body. Handball, he goes to Holman. Holman straightens up, goes for goal and kicks it. That's his second. And the 74 supporters at the punt road end for the Suns are absolutely going Ponty.
Round to Quaynor to side bottom. He fumbles, but time to gather in front of Witt.
Took Big Witzy on.
Up against the boundary line, he did. Pops the handball in front of Adams, who will send it inside, attacking 50 for Collingwood. Myercheck, he got knocked out of the way. Luckily, Josh Dacos arrived on the scene and put it through from 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Macca's I'm Loving It moments. Order via the My Macca's app and start earning today.
They built a bit of a buffer in the end of that third quarter, 15-10, 100. Collingwood leading Gold Coast 11-3, 69. Those highlights thanks to Macca's I'm Loving It moments for the Macca's Chicken Deluxe range together and loving it. Order via Mick Delivery. The opening bounce for the final term about to get us underway thanks to Tyre Power. Save on Falcon, store-wide super sale now on. Is the script set? Will we get another 2 goals from the Gold Coast Suns and then the Pies run away with it, Pickers?
Well, I hope they do. I hope they do get the first 2 because it'll mean the game's going to stay pretty competitive all the way through. The Pies look like they got the answers to me. A 5-goal lead at 3/4 time. They'd be pretty happy with that.
AFL Nation for Tyre Power and for McDonald's. Matthew Cox, Liam Pickering and Matty Hill guiding you through this final term of the MCG.
So 31 points the margin. Collingwood kicking to the left of your radio dial, the punt road end. Witts won the tap down to Rowell, who's tackled by Adams. And that ball not going anywhere. The umpire, the secondary ball up in the middle. Gold Coast traditionally today starting their quarters very fast as Cameron won the tap towards De Goey, took Miller intercepting in the middle as well, and there'll be another bounce. Scrappy start to the final term. Up goes the ball again. Cameron and Witts won it down only as far as Adams, who hacks it long for Collingwood. Into open space. Lemons ricochets off his boot. McCreary was there on the scene. Alice with a hurried handball. Lemons under pressure. Gets the kick away. Down the line near the centre wing, and Roses takes the mark for the Suns near side.
Just waits for an option to present. Next to go on the 45. Straight to the Collingwood skipper in Pendlebury.
Oh, it's just a poor option, let alone the poor skill execution.
There's no Suns player around Pendlebury either. He goes short to Maynard. Still defensive side of the broadcast wing in front of the members. Down along the boundary line, Cameron sets himself. Butterfingers slips straight through them. Ellis straight into the turf. Gets a push in the back for his efforts from Callum Brown. And gets the free kick. Former Tiger. Goes short to Anderson. Still defensive side of the broadcast wing. Want to try and get the switch going. Instead, he elected to go up the middle, searching for his mate in Matty Rowell. He had Butterfingers as well, straight to ground level. Tuke Miller came in from the side, got the handball out to Roses. He went into no man's land with the handball. Rowell had to go back in after it, fed it to Anderson, feeds it to Ellis, to Miller. Escaped the tackle from Noble. It got brought down by Quaynor, who will get the free kick. Inside defensive 50 for the Pies.
Quaynor, it's a lonely place that when you get run down from behind.
To Hoskin Elliott. Now Maynard darts one low, and Weller was able to chop it off for the Suns, and then he just bangs it and hopes and kicks it into the third row. So it's at left half back here for the Pies. Collingwood lead by 31. 2 minutes 20 gone in the final term. To bring it back into play is Noble. John Noble. Wing he goes. At the back, Cameron couldn't take the mark. Pendlebury just tried to scoop it to the advantage of Cameron, who falls over. Sun player over the top, appealing for a free kick in Ballard. Nothing doing. And it's going to be a ball up at left half forward for Collingwood. And up it goes. Cameron to Pendlebury with a little toe poke with the left boot. Alice, handball. Anderson under pressure. Pendle's already almost got it. Rowell on hands and knees, got it to Miller, who's tackled, but gets a long looping handball away. Quaynor tried to do the volleyball tap. Gee, it's scrappy at the moment on the AFL logo near side. Roses to Miller, that's better, it got out. Ainsworth now running. Ainsworth has one bounce to centre half forward. Little pitching wedge up in the air, and the mark taken by Casbolt. Casbolt 45 metres out directly in front. Today he has kicked 4, and boy, they need one.
Sure do. It was a great handball in the there's a lot of scrappy stuff going on, and then there was a brilliant releasing handball from Roses, I think it was. Away they went. Can Levi bang this home? He needs to.
So what an important kick. 45 metres out directly in front. Kaz Bolt misses to the left.
Coxie with the dark cloud.
15-10, 100, 11-470. Collingwood by 30. And that is thanks to Icon Services solutions that matter, and very special comments from Liam Pickering, buymystock.com.au.
Very special indeed.
Bad miss that. You really needed to kick that.
Big Dacos in the pocket. Up and under kick, searching for Cameron. Beat him. Ground level Meyer, check to Hoskin Elliott. Snaps it around his body. Awkward bounce for McCreary. Had to soccer it off the carpet. Came off the shin of Ballard. Over the boundary line and out of play. Throw it in front of the interchange gates. The boundary update for Snaffle by now with bite-sized payments. Huge win. The subs yet to be activated today. Reef McGuinness and Jeremy Sharp for the Pies and Sons respective. You know that word. Below at ground level.
I know what you meant.
Thank you. Kinnavan bounce past him. Collins mopping up. Fed it to Ellis. Now Anderson. He's caught by Chris. Back into the path of Ellis. His kick smothered. Lukosius feeds it to Weller. He puts on the afterburners to get away from Lipinski. Handball's inboard. The seas part for Swallow, who finds Ainsworth in the heart of attacking 50. Takes the mark 45 metres out directly in front.
They're looking inside, and that's really good. That was a fantastic handball by Weller. Into the path of Swallow, and he just hit the chip-up lead, and Ainsworth's a good finisher. He's gone back a fair way. The holding run up.
Going to need every bit of it.
Oh, you get the trip.
30 points, the current margin. It's a big moment as he comes in from just inside 50, directly in front. Goal umpire doesn't move. 2 goals for Ben Ainsworth, and the heartbeat is still there for the Suns. 12-4-76 plays 15-10 100 on the Icon Services scoreboard. Icon Services solutions that matter. Our expert this afternoon is Liam Pickering, thanks to buymystock.com.au.
Yeah, well, you can get the corridor, you can open up the game, and the last 2 entries, and Levi should have kicked his goal as well, but they've got the all-important first goal of this last quarter. So if it went the other way, you'd think it was a bridge too far. But they're still hanging in there. 4 goals, plenty of time left.
There certainly is. To be exact, Pickers, 15 minutes and 21 seconds left. And it's a 4-goal buffer at the G on a Sunday afternoon. 15 disposals for Ben Ainsworth and 2 goals. So it's Witts and Begg. Favours Witts, tapped down only as far as De Goey. Handball Begg, handball Pendlebury. Pendlebury does the loop-de-loo and then got a handball to Begg, who then just hacks it into the air towards centre half forward. 2-on-2. Myercheck tried to go with the one-hander. McCreary couldn't quite grab it. Anderson for the Suns puts Barnard under pressure, goes back towards Lemons. Lemons goes wide. Now under pressure. On the ground is Sharp. And Sharp for the Suns goes inboard to Swallow. Swallow onto the left boot towards Pendlebury, who goes the fist over Fiorini. Quaynor at the back, handball inboard to Chris, but they've coughed it up here, and the Suns can bang it back in towards the middle of the ground. Hot football this one. Maynard handball. Nick Dacos handball. Quaynor in the middle. Quaynor to centre half forward. He goes through the fingertips of Brown, and then he's got Lukosius under pressure, and Pendlebury now just toe pokes it into the air. Lipinski, Brown, McCreary, Dacos, Josh, second goal, and that might be the dam buster. 16-10, 106. Suns 12-4-76. We've been going 7 minutes 40 in the final term.
Yeah, they've had the answers pretty much all day. Josh Dacos has been a good player today. He's had an impact. A couple of goals now. And the Suns just making some fumbly sort of errors late in the game. Get a bit tired. Pendlebury's been important, just with little touches. Query to Dacos and a good finish. Budrick's been subbed out of the game. That's why Sharp's on. Coxie picked it up with my eagle eye.
Yes.
A.K.A. Handsome Ben.
Thanks to Snaffle bite-sized payments win. Thanks for feeding the information down here. I was scrambling on Twitter. Thanks, Benny.
Yeah, that's all right. Just leave it to the experts, mate.
For buymystock.com.au. Around the grounds for Chemist Warehouse. We're underway at Marvel. One straight 6 apiece. Early stages, first term between the Dons and the Dogs. As the Suns go forward momentarily. Begg at ground level. Somehow got it to go here. Goes forward with the kick. Myercheck trying to keep the ball in front of himself under enormous pressure from Collins. Ball goes to ground. Lemons on top of it. The umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. 16-10, 106 plays 12-4-76 on the Icon Services scoreboard. 9 gone in the final term. Thanks to Makita, rule the outdoors. Witts down to Miller, to Lemons. Sold the candy well, then fed the handball to Ellis up against the boundary line. Had no room for error as he got the kick away. Begg underneath it, didn't take the mark. Had to feed it to Howe, who got clobbered on the way through. Maynard gets taken into the turf by Chol, and there's a bit of a wrestle as the two engage. Ellis takes the intercept mark at half-back, finds Noah Anderson, who has McPherson in the middle if he can run onto it. Quaynor bearing down, evades him, will go inside 50. Casbolt in space, takes the chest mark, and will line up slightly worse than a 45-degree angle, 35 metres out.
Great transition again. Some good kick into the middle of the ground as the Bombers have kicked their second. And Eddie had, or Marvel, whatever it is. 2 goals to 1 now. The Bombers.
On the ground.
Levi. Big Levi. Difficult kick. Difficult kick for a normal goal kicker.
4 goals, 3 to his name so far this afternoon. He comes in. This is to the shallow side. So now 4-4. 12-5-77. Plays 16-10-106. All thanks to Icon Services, solutions that matter.
Got the answers at the moment. I say a normal goal kicker. I mean a trusty goal kicker. Someone's a bit of a dead-eyed dick, as they say.
Moore kicks it to Quaynor. Rankin was right there on the premises, though, putting pressure on. Has infringed, and Quaynor gets a free kick over the shoulder. 29-point ball game here. Collingwood lead early in the 4th. So Quaynor, back pocket, right back pocket for the Pies. Called to get on with it, so he kicks it long to the wing. Begg has a couple to beat, fisted away side bottom, running for the football over the boundary line it goes. It'll be a throw in out of side. So overcast conditions prevailing here in Melbourne. The big lights aren't on, but certainly the inner lights of the stands are on. We've had an enjoyable afternoon, especially if you're a Collingwood supporter. They lead by 29. Begg and Witts. Witts won the tap that time. Fiorini at ground level. Just threw it on the boot. Pendlebury overruns it. Sharp now. Handball Fiorini. Fiorini. Round the body he goes, and Nick Dacos was standing still and took the mark easily at right half back for Collingwood.
Goes short to Pendlebury. He's combining with experience at half-back for the Pies. Pendlebury sold the candy to Rankin. Allowed him some extra time to kick it inboard. Miller standing in front of Crisp. Didn't take the mark, but had time to gather and pushes it to the broadcast side, where Madgen did enough over the top of Davies. Davies went in for the smother. Madgen backing up, fed the handball inboard to Lipinski, loops it over the top. McCreary wants to run onto it, does now, feeds it to Josh Dacos up against the boundary line from 50 out, goes to Myercheck, who takes a strong contested mark and will line up on a 45-degree angle, 15 out.
He's had a great day. It was a very good build-up again. Dacos again involved. Myercheck's had a terrific game. Been so good overhead. I mean, he's up against a good defender. I mean, he's playing on Sam Collins. Good defender, Sam Collins. And he's a good kick normally. Big Brody, this might put a nail in the coffin.
Lining up for his 5th. Myercheck comes in and he misses.
Bad miss.
First miss of the afternoon for him. Pies 16-11-107. 12-5-77. Margin 30 points thanks to Icon Services.
Ral takes the mark, defensive 50. He's going to centre the ball to Touk Miller. Solid as a rock at centre half back. Dodges 1, dodges 2. And kicks to Ellis. Who Ellis then just tried to handball it to somebody to run into space. No one did. Ellis had to go running after it himself. Lipinski picked it up. Brown, handball, Maynard as they turn it over. The Pies send it inside 50. Adams
well
at the
done,
back end. The fist did really well. He was nowhere near his man. He had to do something. Running onto it is Sharp, who centres the ball. Dangerous kick, but Ellis takes the mark and then handballs on hands and knees to Miller, who's under pressure. Back to Lukosius. Handball back to Miller. They're certainly racking up the disposals here in the back line. Davies plays on at the wing. Kicks it inside 50 for the Suns, but Howe's all over it. Drops what he should have taken, but was collected heavily by Rankin, and Howe will get the free kick at half back for the Pies. They lead by 30. We've been going 14 final term.
Front on contact. You can really see the Gold Coast how they're trying to get the centre corridor if possible. Now Collingwood have got it on the rebound.
Crisp straight up the guts to Begg. Lipinski went without it. Ellis combining with Ballard at half back. Up and under kick is enough for Fiorini to take the mark at centre half back.
He's looking for something down the guts, but he's going to have to fan it wide here.
Goes to the half back flank and finds Swallow.
They've got a loose player at half forward.
It's Holman, and that's where he hits. Spins around immediately, goes inside 50, more in front of Rankin. Didn't do enough to complete the mark. Rankin pressuring him towards the boundary line. Eventually it goes out of play. We'll throw it in half forward outer side for the Suns. They're 12-5-77, trailing Collingwood by 30 points, 16-11-107 on the Icon Services Solutions That Matter scoreboard. It's AFL Nation for Tyre Power. Save on Falcon store-wide super sale now on, and for McDonald's. Order via the MyMaccas app and start earning today.
Cameron won it down to Chris. Ball in dispute. Sharp. It just bobbles around his feet. Picked it up and was wrapped up in a tackle. Lukosius tackles Chris. Handball to Pinsky. Too hot for side. Bottom little towboat Fiorini. Here's a chance. Witts. Miller runs inside 50. Goes bang. Does this just breathe a little bit of life for the Suns? It's through. Took Miller. Could that be a little spark? Collingwood 16-11-107. 13-5-83. 4 goals in it with 8.5 minutes to go. Thanks to Icon Services Solutions That Matter.
It's a real rare, very rare steel side bottom fumble, but everyone is starting to fumble this game. The tired players, I guess you're talking sort of halfway through the last quarter, but it came from nowhere. His work rate's enormous. Turk Miller, him and Anderson have been sensational, but I think they've been the best 2 midfielders on the ground. And the team that's been beaten and been pretty well beaten most of the day. They just seem to be the ones that work the hardest to me.
Well, in contention for the player of the day for Whirlpool, Kitchen and Laundry Appliances. Ian Pickering, Matt Hill and Matthew Cox with you this afternoon here on AFL Nation. 16-11-107 Collingwood. 13-5-83 the Suns. They need the next one to keep it alive. Perfect bounce in the middle. Witts tapped it down into the path of Fiorini. Snaps it around his body. Hoskin Elliott, though, takes it on the wing. Feeds it to Adams. Tracks backwards to Noble. Sideways to Maynard. Centre wing broadcast side. He's happy just to take the tempo off the game. Indecisive and hesitant. And now bangs it long. Hoping for Cameron. Witts. Farrow climbed from behind. Ball knocked over the boundary line and out of play. We'll throw it in.
Yeah, he's a real workhorse, isn't he, Jared Witts? Real workhorse. Reminds me of Toby Nankervis. You know, they don't get a lot of fanfare, but, gee, they work hard. And they're so important to their teams.
How much did they miss him last season with that knee injury? Witts feeds it out to Weller. Short ball to Ainsworth was punched away from him by Maynard.
Not a lot of percentage in that little kick. Like, he kicked it 6 metres to a bloke with a player on his hammer. I mean, the better bet there was to go down the line. They've got 2 tall targets. They've got Kaz Bolton Chol down the line. Lockie Weller's got to be a bit better than that.
8 minutes to go. Pies by 4 goals. Throw in near side. Spills to Goey. Gets a little handball out. Weller's the first there on the scene. Hurried handball to Witts, who had plenty of company. Standing tackle from Cameron. Little towboat Pendlebury. It's scrappy stuff. Crisp just throws it onto the boot towards left half forward. Myercheck hovering at the back line beats them all. Collingwood 16-11-107. Suns 13-5-83. 7:45 left on the clock. Left half forward for Collingwood.
They need a couple of real quick goals here, Gold Coast, just to give themselves a bit of belief. You look at the scoreboard, you're still 4 goals down.
Got to get moving quickly. Pendlebury under pressure from Rowell. Anderson coughs it up to Brown. The umpire said it was a throw. Advantage taken by Crisp. He was collected by Rowell. Had to feed it to Hoskin Elliott, who, as Pickers rightly points out, kicked it straight out on the full. So the Suns.
Watch them look corridor here. They'll try and get it straight up the middle.
Lemons.
Look at that risky kick.
Took full advantage of it. And it's nice to see them still taking the risk. Farah feeds it to Ellis.
They've got to keep going through there. It's the only way they're going to win.
Confronted. Farah tries to escape the tackle. Found Miller by hand. Will go to Rowell in a bit of space. He puts it inside, attacking 50. Davis the mark. On a slight angle, 45 metres out. He looked up to see what was in front of him, and everyone was pointing towards the goal.
It's just a brave way to play football. But there's no reason why you wouldn't play like that, considering they're 4 goals down with sort of 6.5 minutes to go.
Davies comes in. 45-degree angle from about 48.
The man on the mark.
He hooked it, and it just scrapes in for a minor score. So 13-6, 84, plays 16-11, 107. We're about to tick into time on in the final term. They need to lock it in here, the Gold Coast Suns.
Yeah. Now, while you're picking up my pen there, Tier 1, just at your feet. I dropped it over at a moment of excitement.
Nick Dacos, Ginnivan at right half back. Kicks it long, looking for Begg. Begg's been good on debut, takes the mark out a wing.
We'd much prefer to see this sort of footy, wouldn't we? Than pack after pack after pack after pack. It's been a good game.
Engaging.
So Begg goes short to Crisp. Just short of right half forward. Goes short to Ginnivan, who's 60 metres out. The crowd love him. Swings around onto the right towards the pocket. Over the head of De Goey it goes. Lemons is there for company, and ball spills over the boundary line. Right forward pocket around 15 metres around.
Well, it's a bit under the crowd. I thought, Matty, what do we get today?
It's in the Pies forward pocket. 28,900 is the attendance today.
And 16. Don't forget those other 16 people. They're Sun supporters.
Falls to Rowell handball. Miller. Lipinski tried to snaffle it away. A bit scrappy here at the moment. Very close to the Pies goal line. It's just going to trundle over right next to the boundary behind post. The right forward pocket for the Pies. Is this their chance to close it out? They lead by 23 with 5.5 to go.
Tossed into play. Cameron and Scholl. Cameron won the tap down to Goey. Claimed immediately by Miller. Ball going nowhere. We'll toss it up inside 50 for the Pies. Thrown into the air. Cameron grabbed it straight out. Did it get touched on the way through? I don't think it did. We're going to go for a score review for Roofing and Sheet Metal Centre. All your sheet metal products Australian made, quality guaranteed. Cameron grabbed it straight out of the ruck. Did he clear? He must have cleared the pack, so they're now checking whether Lemons got it on the line.
I reckon he touched it.
Yeah, he did. He's touched it for sure. And the umpire's called it touched. That's the soft call, as they say, Matthew. Soft call. I don't know why they just don't go to the replays. Tell us what happened. I couldn't see it. So anyway, it's a behind. And 21 minutes gone. 5.17. So 5 minutes, 17 seconds left. And they're going up the guts again.
So the Suns right up the middle. But Cameron was there for Collingwood. Darcy Cameron with a good strong mark.
Yeah, they'll take a bit of heat out of the game here. They'll just chip it around here for another. Try and take a minute or two off the clock.
Goes wide to Madgen. So 5 minutes left on the clock. 4 goals the margin. Side bottom as they spread it wider. Side bottom, left half forward for Collingwood.
They can go backwards again, all the way back here if they want. Sidey doesn't really like playing like that, though. He's going to put it down into the forward line.
Signals long, kicks it long. Myercheck with another ripper. Over the top of his own man in Cameron, who even applauds it. And Myercheck can go back. He's about 45 metres out. He's signalling as if he's going to go round the body.
Why the hell would he go around the body from 50?
He's going round the body. He's looking for his 5th goal.
It's not punt territory, that.
And if it wasn't already done, this will put pay to it if it isn't already done at 24 points the margin.
This will be a miracle if he kicks this.
Myercheck round the body, 48 metres out. It's going to the right. Ginnivan up against the post with 2 players, and it's punched over.
Absolutely no percentage in that kick whatsoever from there.
16-13, 109. Collingwood 13-684. The Suns for Icon Services.
Precocious had it in the back pocket broadcast side. Was a risky kick across the face. Here's Ginnivan. Up and under kick and a land top of the goal square. Brown getting back. But the mark will be taken inside defensive 50 by Farah. No, a free kick. The way of Collingwood.
And the Brown, is it?
It looks like it as we get a look.
Being held off the ball by Lukosius.
Shepherded out of the contest on the easy debit replay screen as he puts it through. Callum Brown for his first of the afternoon. And that's the Host Plus point. Host Plus, the industry super fund for all Australians. You can just about seal the deal now for the Pies.
Very nice music. The Mutts are up by 4 against the Dons. 3 straight 18. To Essendon 2-2-14 at Marvel.
Thanks to Chemist Warehouse. Great savings every day around the grounds.
Yep. Chemist Warehouse, great partners. Collingwood here. The fans are starting to get pretty happy with themselves. They know the game's under control now.
Where's the chant?
Yeah, I think old mate might have got him. He's no longer in the cheer squad, so he was the one that started it, didn't he? Gold jacket.
I think he did.
So it's Collingwood 17-13, 115. Gold Coast 13-6, 84. 3.5 minutes left in the final term. Icon Services, solutions that matter. Umpire bangs it into the turf. 1 down by the Suns to Rowell. Tuke Miller under pressure. And he ends up losing it. Lipinski into Dacos, who sends it to the top of the square. Myercheck, Ginnivan trying to get into position. Free kick to the Suns.
Yeah,
it's going
I thought they were going to give it to
Myercheck.
Ginnivan.
No, it was Collins in the end, and then sends it long to Davies at half-back for the Suns. Inboard, Farah stops, props. Has no one to kick it to, so long he goes, right half forward. Casbolt's at the front, Moore at the back. No mark taken. Maynard just kicks it to himself, and under pressure with Aidsworth, it goes over right half forward for the Suns.
Got a pretty good team, Collingwood, you know. You think about it, they've got 2 really good marking defenders in Howe and Moore. Myercheck's a smart forward. They're probably still lacking another forward. The overall team's pretty strong.
Both ruckman took themselves out of it, and the umpires pinned holding. And it'll be a free kick the way of Cameron at half-back for the Pies. Wanted to go short to Adams and then elected to go further to side bottom, still defensive side of the broadcast wing. 26 gone in the final term on the Makita rule the outdoors clock. Pies, after a slow start, they kicked 7 goals in a row to build a buffer. And it hasn't really got within that since. Collins presenting from the kick from Adams. Didn't take the mark, but ran through with plenty of aggression with ball in hand. Goes towards half forward. Scholl in a wrestle with Howe. Takes the mark. Just outside 50. Walked off his line, so called to play on. Fed it to Fiorini. His eyes lit up, and then he saw Tuke Miller standing directly in front, 40 metres out. He takes the mark and will have a shot.
No, he just keeps working, doesn't he? Tuke, he's a good player. How did he finish in the Brownlow last year? He was in the top 5, wasn't he? Right up there, I reckon. Top 3, maybe.
Yeah. 35 disposals today, 4 marks, 1 goal to his name. Make that 2. Such an important part of this Gold Coast lineup, and one of the players that even in their down periods today never gave up.
But him and Anderson they've been a credit to the way they played today, those 2 players. And I can't get them both in the votes, unfortunately, but I'm definitely getting Miller in there. I know that. They're terrific. And Noah, well, he's not much wrong either. They're that far ahead of everyone else on the Gold Coast team. Anyway, let's put it that way.
Line for the player of the day for Whirlpool, Kitchen and Laundry Appliances this afternoon. 2 goals, 36 touches, 6 tackles as well. A tackler for Turo, count on it.
Hanson Ben just tells me he was 13th in the Brownlow last year. How many votes did he get? 17, I thought he got a lot more than that.
So a minute and a half to go. And it's the Pies by 25. In the middle, De Goey to Adams. Adams then to centre half forward. McCreary on his chest. And go back directly in front from about 52 metres out at this stage.
That was a beautiful centre bounce transition, wasn't it? It's exactly how you want it. Straight down the throat of the midfielder, or the rover in this case. Drives it down. Doesn't have to break stride. Hits him right on the chest. McCleary. Very nice of the Gold Coast fans to give him a target to aim for behind the goals, waving their flags.
This is for 2. He's had 7 disposals, kicked it from 53 metres out, misses everything to the right forward pocket. It falls. Brown at the fall of the ball, got it back to Begg. Hoskin Elliott getting involved, just chips it up into the air. Brown from the side. Witts takes a good strong mark for the Suns. So it's Collingwood by 25 with 35 seconds left on the clock at the G. Matty Cox, bring us home.
Thank you, Matty Hill. Liam Pickering with us on AFL Nation as well this afternoon. Witts.
Terrible kick. They might get another go at the goals here.
Put it straight down the throat of Hoskin Elliott. Will centre it to Adams. Takes it on the 50-metre arc.
He might as well take his time and have a shot. He's not going to make the distance. We've got another stack.
He stabs it inside 50, straight down the throat of Davies. As the siren sounds, Collingwood rack up their 4th win of the season. A 7 goals in a row quarter in the first term help build a buffer and get them over the line. 17-13, 115 to 14-6, 90.
How to play the game. Side by side they stick together. It's a cakewalk for the good old Collingwood.
4 goals to Brodie Myercheck, 3 to Ginnivan, 2 to Darcy Cameron, Josh Dacos, singles to De Goey, Tyler Brown, Callum Brown, Jack Crisp, McCreary, and Jack Madgen kicked one as well. In a impressive performance once again from the Pies as they continue this transition into the new era under Craig McRae. An impressive performance at the MCG against the Suns.
Good old Collingwood forever. They know how to play the game. Side by side they stick together to uphold the Magpies' name. See the barricades are shouting as all barricades should. Oh, the premiership's a game.
Final score again, 17-13, 115. Collingwood defeating Gold Coast 14-6, 90. The Gold Coast Suns goal kickers today, 4 to Levi Casbolt, but could have had more. Chol with 3, 2 apiece to Holman, Ainsworth and Miller. Roses contributed as well with a major. As we enter the post-game show for Thirsty Camel Bottle Shop, answer the Camel's call, Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops. That final score once again 17-13, 115 to 14-6, 90, thanks to Victoria Police. You need the police but not the sirens. Call the police assistance line 131 444. Liam Pickering, our expert this afternoon. What do you make of that engaging contest? It was entertaining, it was fast flowing football. It was a joy to watch.
I actually really enjoyed the game. I'd hope more footy's played like that. Gold Coast were brave. They wanted to use the corridor. It didn't work. At the end of the day, I just thought Collingwood were the better team, and we sort of said it all the way along, didn't we? We thought it was going to be 2-3 goals, ended up being 4. You know, that's about the difference in the two teams. This is amazing post-game. The way they do these LEDs on a Collingwood win, with every LED around the ground is flashing black and white. It looks so good. But the Pies fans have stuck around. There was 28,916 here today, mainly Collingwood supporters. They'd go home pretty happy, I reckon. They've got a good young team. They're well led in defence by Moore and Howe. And an exciting forward line. I mean, Myercheck does what Myercheck does, but they've got little Ginnivan, People can't get enough of him. He had about 6 touches today, but he's been interviewed by Fox down there. He won't be in the votes, but he's a good interview. So anyway, look, at the end of the day, that was a terrific win. It really was, and they are going to give themselves a chance to play finals.
So with Grundy not there for quite a while, Cameron's obviously having to stake a claim. They've got young Begg who's done some nice things.
Yeah.
That's encouraging as well for
It is, and he'll have bigger challenges than Witts. I mean, Witts is a good player, and he played well today, Witts, but Cameron was able to get forward and kick a couple of goals. Begg was undersized, but still did a pretty good job. You just got a pinch hit in the middle. You just got to have someone that can compete. And there are other players they can throw in there if need be. But, I thought Cameron did a pretty good job today.
He's going to have a lot of responsibility over the next couple of months, that's for sure. It's a nice touch, despite not getting the victory today. The Gold Coast Suns have got the footies out, sharing it with their fans here in Melbourne. It's their only game on the MCG, as Matty told us earlier.
Which is disappointing, isn't it, that they don't get another game here? I mean, you wonder how that works. Like a 22-game season, you're on the road another dozen times or whatever it is, throughout the course of the year, 11 times, and at least 11 times, and you'd reckon they'd get more than one game at the mighty MCG, and what a venue it is to play on.
Especially on a day like today.
On a day like today. Today is a perfect day for football. And that's why I think the skill level was pretty good overall. I mean, there were a few howlers, but overall I thought they used the ball well, both teams. Both teams wanted to use the corridor. A lot to like about Collingwood, definitely. And the Suns, well, they're not too far off getting it right. Not too far off.
That was the question coming in, because of the closeness of these two teams in their development phase, they're probably in similar positions. Maybe Collingwood just a touch in front, given them more experience on their list.
They shouldn't be more in front. To be honest, the Gold Coast group's been together for most of them a long time.
So then
We're cutting them a bit of slack, really.
I was going to say, so instead of this being described as an honourable loss, should we be more critical on the fact that when they had their opportunities going forward, they didn't convert?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's probably a better... Well, it's not that they kicked badly. What they kicked, 14 goals, 6. But they turned the ball over at crucial times. And Collingwood just worked a little bit harder than them. It's really, really noticeable when you watch the Gold Coast how much harder Toot Miller and Noah Anderson worked than the others. I mean, Matty Rowell works hard too, but those two in particular really work hard. There are a few that sort of just go through the motions a little bit.
Through the old memory bank, was it late last year the Gold Coast were being seriously questioned? And are we cutting them more slack than we should be?
I think because they're off Broadway. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, this team's been... Yeah, look, go through these players that played today. Chol, he's only young. Atkins he didn't play today, 113 games though. Ellis has played 216. Holman's played nearly 80. Fiorini's played 70. Ainsworth 80. Ballard 75. Miller's played 140. Well, 121. Like, these aren't... Lemons has played 120 games. Like, these guys have got experience. Then you throw in Casbolt and these type of characters as well. Swallows played 180 games. So... Yes, Collingwood have got Pendlebury and they've got side bottom and they've got a couple of the older midfield types. But I'm not sure what the game difference would be between Collingwood and Gold Coast on today's 23.
And just having a look, before they went down into the rooms, the Suns group, they were stopped at the top of the race by Witts and Miller and leading the discussions there. And you can imagine it would have been a discussion around that effort, work rate.
It might be him saying, you know what, boys, we don't get to play here much. And when we come here, we've got to try and make the most of it. And we let an opportunity slip today. And we won't be back here until we're playing finals. So if we're not going to get our act together, we won't be back here again this year.
We'll run through our awards here on the post-game show for Thirsty Camel here on AFL Nation. The MEGT Rookie of the Day, your local apprenticeship experts. Do we just hand it to the debutant in Begg for being able to compete against some pretty hard opposition in both Witts and Chol? Was often the other one thrown in there.
I think he did a really admirable job, and he would have got a goal if Ginnivan didn't mark it on the goal line. But in saying that, Ginnivan did the right thing. He had to mark that because it was, could hit the post.
MEGT supporting employers and apprentices for over 40 years. The player power rankings for Red Energy, owned by Snowy Hydro, a renewable energy leader.
Toot Miller led the way there. 140.
The player power rankings. Hanger of the day. There are a few of these today, Matty. Hangmytv.com.au, because that's what they do.
Well, there was a couple of beauties. Early Cameron took one, and then it was Myercheck took a couple down the punt road end. I reckon I'll give it to Myercheck.
I was going to go with Levi's big hang.
Or Levi's was good as well.
He
At same end, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Can we give a dual? Yeah, we'll split it.
Split it. All right, that's okay. Yeah, but Levi, I thought, well, they're both great marks. Yeah, so either way.
My check was in congestion, whereas Casbolt was just more spectacular.
He got a bit of a fly.
The tackler of the day for Turo, count on Turo to get the job done.
Taylor Adams,
tackles, yes, and Tyler Brown also 8 goals as the siren sounds.
8 goals?
8 tackles, rather. Thank you, Pickers. The injury update for safetyhq.com.au. Connor Butterick went down in the final term. He was taken off as the sub for a rolled ankle, we believe. Jeremy Sharp activated.
Kids are on the ground.
Yeah,
I didn't know they let the kids out.
Magnificent sight to see, given all that we've been through for the last 2 years. The coach of the day for TC Boxes, home for trays, canopies and toolboxes.
Oh, the Fly. You'd have to give it to the Fly. He's coaching well. He's got him playing a good, exciting brand of footy. I reckon Collingwood fans go home going, we like watching this. Even when they get beat, we like watching this. I would if I was a Collingwood fan.
Almost similar vein to Hawthorn. When they're competing, you can see the effort, you can see what they're trying.
You're not walking away shaking your head going, what the hell were we doing today? That was a boring old slow game.
Goal of the game for Host Plus, an industry super fund for all Australians. Do we go to Ginnivan?
Yeah, that was clearly the goal of the day. Yeah, sorry. Jack Ginnivan's. When he got around 3 blokes.
I enjoyed the backman's goal, though. Imagine from 52 out.
That was more of a team goal.
Yeah, it was.
Can we split it again?
Nah, Ginnivan gets it. It's clearly the best goal of the day. It'll win the goal around everywhere.
Pretty good call, too, might I add. The unmissable moment.
He's dead set off his chops, the commentator. He went off his chops.
Cox was giving himself a little bit of that on the back.
I'm not like that, Pickers. I'm not like you.
Not on here.
The unmissable moments are drink wise. So choose to drink wise. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise.
It was when the umpire bounced the ball. Now, the centre bounce that ended up on the centre wing. That's how bad the bounce was.
That's the worst you've ever seen.
I've never seen a worse bounce than that. So he bounced it sideways. It ended up out here where the wingman was standing.
It was on the logo.
Yeah, it went to the logo.
And we are not exaggerating that.
It's nearly impossible to do that. To get it out there. I don't know if he tried to do it, he couldn't have got it out there.
He made a meal of it, that's for sure.
Real mess.
We'll check the ladder update in a moment for 40 Winks. Any size mattress is the price of a single at 40 Winks. But we'll go to your votes, Pickers. The AFL Nation's Player of the Year for Whirlpool, your leader in kitchen and laundry appliances.
I am giving one vote to Jack Crisp. I thought he worked really hard again today. 28 disposals, kicked a goal, a lot of metres gained, used the ball well. He's just such a good footballer, Jack Crisp. 2 votes to Brody Myercheck, 4 goals, 8 marks, and it was a real focal point. Probably should have kicked 6. Missed a couple he normally would gobble up. And the 3 votes I gave to Touk Miller. I know they lost, but at the end of the day, he had 36 disposals. He worked his back